What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
You have one hair out of place.
Get it.
I'm going to pull it
Get
out
it.
like that. I destroyed it for you. Over here, the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty. He did the first down. If you're listening to
I thought that was the
listen to
touchdown.
audio,
That's how much I don't know.
God damn it, Nick.
They got a
You
touchdown,
thought this is a
everyone.
touchdown.
What's touchdown?
Thank you.
I thought that was field goal.
That's
Well,
also a field goal.
It's points have been scored. The play has
Sports doesn't
ended
make
in
any
points.
sense.
but
sense.
you can get a safety, and that's also points.
This is a safety.
Yeah,
It's the I Dream of Genie thing.
That is the I Dream of Genius.
that's true. That's true. And over here, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
Boys, we're all back together again.
I like this. This
And
is fun.
We're
It's been a
together
while.
for a very special episode. Colin Moriarty is 30 years old today.
30
Happy birthday,
years
Colin
old.
Thank you.
Moriarty.
How you doing? How's it feel to be an old man?
It's weird. I mean, I was talking to someone before. My 20s are gone. They're just gone now.
They're never coming back.
Nope.
You'll never
Never
be that
gonna-
young again.
nope.
You'll never
How
be
was
that
it?
That
hero,
sounds
that
scary.
Was
potent.
it a good decade for you?
It was.
The 20s?
It was pretty good. It had its ups and downs. Early on, it was especially good because I was stupid and young and in college, and you know, it's had its ups and downs. It's been good though. It was good. It was good. I feel like I could have done better. I feel like I could have done more.
But
That's
we've all
hindsight. That's
done
just
more.
hindsight 2020. You know.
But here I am at 30 years old. I can't believe it. My sister, who's 6 years older than me, like texted me this morning to wish me a happy birthday, and because she was like, she's a teacher, so she was in class, and there's a time difference and stuff, and she's like, shit, you're like 30 years old. That's weird. And that probably makes, I'm the youngest, so that probably makes my parents feel exceptionally old too. So
My mom had me when she was 30. So it's funny to think about that and then look at
Yeah, where we're at.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
are we-
what is happening?
recording dumb shows in another room.
you got this idiot dog in your lap.
Got this idiot dog in my lap. He can't see over the computer. We just had to make him drink. He's sitting there going, thirsty. What do I do?
and you know,
Better keep sitting in Dad's lap. It's me, Portillo the dog.
Did you ever think you'd make it here, Colin?
to 30.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but like I've told you, back in the day, the Ouija board told me I was going to die when I was 23. So there was a moment, you know, in my teens where I was like, well,
Was it halfway there?
I'm gonna die
Damn
soon.
Ouija.
Yeah, but
trust
yeah, no,
the
here I
Ouija.
am. I'm blessed to be here.
Oh.
And
Hashtag blessed.
people hashtag bless, hashtag believe, hashtag
Believe you got to do the Li
LI
capital.
capitalize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, it's cool. I'm everyone's been very nice to me today, and I usually keep my birthday very like under wraps. Like I don't like to, you know, acknowledge my birthday.
Sure.
And I don't like to celebrate my birthday either. But this year, obviously, we're gonna go to Kentucky and do that. So
I don't know if we talk about that, if that's obvious to everybody. What are we doing?
we're going to me and you and a few people. These guys were
Ramon?
invited, but they didn't want to
Yeah,
come.
Ramon.
Yeah, Ramon's going, and Sin is going, and Charles Agnette's going, and our friend Eric Castro's going, which is a little foreshadowing of things to come for our channel as well, because he's going to be involved in something we're doing soon, etc. Some other people are going, and we're going to go to Kentucky and do 4 days of bourbon tasting.
Kentucky things.
You're gonna be hammered.
Oh, absolutely. We rented a house, which is awesome.
We're going to eat fried chicken.
Yeah, we're going
I'm
to
not
eat
joking.
plenty of fried
It's gonna be
chicken.
a lot of fried
yeah,
chicken.
you have to.
And
That's where it's not called Missouri fried chicken.
It's true.
It's Kentucky fried chicken. Is
That's
it called
true.
California fried
fact.
chicken? Greg?
No.
Is it called Arizona fried
CPK
chicken?
is California Pizza Kitchen. That's close.
Yeah, but that's just a travesty. Although I do love the barbecue chicken chop salad from CPK. I must admit, I like to throw a little avocado on that. When they ask you, would you like avocado? I have
You
to
say
say
yes.
yes. I
Yeah?
have to.
You say yes. You add it in.
Can't
there?
turn down a good avocado.
What's this?
so my lovely girlfriend got me a bunch of bourbon for my birthday, and she got me a bottle of Basil Hayden's, which is an awesome bourbon. So
That's
I'm gonna
good
crack
bourbon.
that up. And next week we'll crack open another one that she got me.
I gotta say the flourishings on that are a little questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questionable?
Yeah, I mean,
What?
it looks like a 16-year-old girl's like.
Where are you going with this?
Goldschlager?
Halloween costume?
Know where you were going with
It looks like her belt. Looks like her a
That
16-year-old
looks
girl's
like
belt.
a
It's
Gucci.
it's
like a
garish.
Gucci ripoff belt.
Okay.
Colin, I have to apologize to you also. Before we continue, I need you to raise your mic a little bit because that was actually set for Veronica last week.
Yeah, thanks so much, Veronica Belmont, for coming on the show last week.
She was awesome.
She was great.
Very, very cool. It was nice to have
Colin, where you were in New
Veronica.
York.
Yeah.
You were horribly sick.
Yeah, I got really sick.
That's good right there. Colin.
'cause
My
you-
butthole was not doing so well.
So
Yeah.
what was it? Was it the stress of New York Comic Con, or was it the fact that you went when I called you your first day in New York? We had that quick conversation because I needed to just run some stuff by you, and you were like, "This." I think perfectly summed up your New York vacation. You were like, just talk fast because I'm about to get in the car with my dad and we're going. Where's the pizza place?
Ragtime.
We're going to Ragtime right now. So this is, and I felt so bad, like I was interrupting.
Oh, no, you weren't
like
interrupting me at all.
the Moriarty ritual.
No,
you know,
you
of
weren't.
like
You
every
weren't
time Colin comes back, he just immediately gets in the car. They don't say anything. It's just an unspoken thing that they're going to this place.
It was awesome when I landed. I landed late. but my dad made reservations at this place in Williston Park, which is like right by Queens.
Wilson.
And
Do you do that when you drive there?
Yeah.
Wilson.
It's Williston, but my
Williston. Park.
my dad made reservations, and so we had great Italian food the first day I was there, and then the pizza and Chinese food. I went to my uncle's on Sunday to watch football, and we had Heroes and more pizza. And
Now, when you got the Heroes, I know we're going long on this.
Why do we care? It's our show. We do whatever we want.
Well, I know we got some topics to get to. Some really good topics today. But do they put like the oil kind of vinegar mix on the Heroes? That
you can get that if you want. I get mayonnaise.
I used to love that because you have to eat it. The only downside of the oil vinegar mix is that they don't. If you have anything left over, you can't.
Yeah,
it's done the
soggy.
next day.
Yeah,
It's just a mop.
Yeah, you
the
don't
next
want
day.
that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
But that day with that tang,
Gotta have the tank.
Remember Tang, guys?
Yeah.
I do remember
With
Tang.
Cheetos?
It's the astronaut drink.
Okay. Let's
Where is
not.
Where is he?
Huh?
Is he here?
No, Cheetos is not here.
Cheetos
Is Cheetos here?
He's out
Stupid
drinking
ass
Tang.
Cheetos,
presidential
people-
monkey.
you know what's
Everybody
funny
go buy the Moriarty Miller shirt.
No.
Vote with your wallet.
No.
People find Cheetos
Districtlines.com
everywhere.
/ kind of funny.
And you guys are great for this. Thank you so much. He's a little rambunctious, that Cheetos. He just goes everywhere. People keep sending me pictures of him just
different
randomly
trees.
hanging off a branch.
Everyone
here, hanging off a
Photoshop
branch.
Cheetos into your favorite thing and tweet it at Nick Scarpino. At Nick_Scarpino.
That's something I've been wanting to bring this up. And I think right now on the show is a good time.
Yeah.
I want to start doing just Photoshop challenges.
Oh, that's a
Is
good
this the first
idea.
one?
Giving the people, yeah.
Okay.
Just Photoshop Cheetos. It's funny. Usually you need to give someone a picture to put on things. But no, just you can find your own Cheetos.
Cheetos, of course, the orangutan. That's part of your presidential campaign. The
He's-
party.
I didn't announce this yet, but he is actually going to be our Secretary of State.
Oh, wow.
If
I didn't
when
even
we
know
are
that.
elected.
Well,
I
yeah,
just
you don't,
meant-
I don't
you're
think
just
I don't think there's a
probably
lot
You're
of
the
things
vice
you know.
president. You're going to be the vice president. You're a figurehead.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even
You're a pretty face to shake hands with.
You'll live at the
babies.
Naval Observatory. You're going to have all the power, and our Secretary of State will be the first Secretary of State in history that can't speak any language, which is going to be very
Can't-
problematic
wait,
because
can orangutans
because
sign? Can they sign?
they probably can. That's
Oh,
going to be
Cheetos
essential.
can.
The Secretary of State, of
Don't
course,
be
is our,
ignorant,
is our
bro.
head diplomat, so it's very
Yeah.
important that
Who
He just
doesn't?
goes
that they
there.
can speak.
Who doesn't love an orangutan?
We send them. We send Cheetos to Iran to negotiate nuclear treaties.
Oh my God, guys.
Great. It's going to be
So
so
I
great.
brought up Tang, and I brought up Cheetos, not because orangutan, which is why you probably thought I did. I was talking about the 90s drink Tang,
Tang, the astronaut string.
which his mascot was an orangutan, and I just realized why that was a thing.
That blew my mind just now. I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I didn't either know,
Okay.
but I knew when you said Tang, you meant the drink, and they had a mascot
Okay,
that was
good,
an
good,
orangutan.
good, good.
You wasn't like, you guys remember Tang, and we're like, orangutan Cheetos. Whose brain file works that way? You remember
that's
Tang?
crazy, though.
We go
Yeah, it's like
back.
going through all like your Dewey Decimal
We're like
System
Cindy
cards.
Tang? No, that doesn't make any sense. Orangutan.
I feel like maybe
in
we-
his head it's Tang, oranga.
I feel like maybe we should preface for the audience watching at home right now that we are filming this exorbitantly late at night.
Yeah.
Because of the sheer amount of traffic that we made poor Colin Moriarty sit through on his 30th birthday. Thanks largely to there's a music festival. No, there's a big Salesforce conference.
It had nothing to
happening.
do with that. It's all because of the Giants.
And the damn
I'll be the
Giants
first to
game.
say, Hunter Pence, go fuck yourself.
Wow.
God
Don't do
damn.
that.
Things just changed.
You gotta keep
God
winning
damn.
these baseball games.
He's-
I gotta
he's
sit in the
killing it,
traffic
too.
because of
God
he's doing a really
damn.
good job. Oh goddamn.
Topic.
No, not yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't
Topic.
know, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each bringing a random topic of conversation for your amusement. If you like that, there are a number of ways to get the show, and it all starts each and every Friday when a new episode, both in MP3 and video form, post over on kindoffunny.com. You can go there, you can get on the Patreon page, exclusive access. You get there, you can get it there. We have a bunch of different perks and stuff we'll be getting to in a second. You can go over to the Bandcamp, buy the MP3. You go over to the Vimeo, you buy the video. It's all there on kindoffunny.com. If you don't want to spend any money on us or Monets on us, I totally understand. It's all right. Don't worry. Instead, starting on Monday, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunny and start watching the videos right there, topic by topic, broken out for your amusement. Now that I've said that, of course, it's actually starting on Sunday this week, but I'll be quiet, and that doesn't matter. I closed it so people could see Porty Colin, because I know they mattered him. Nick,
Yes,
Kevin sits behind the camera.
he does.
He was an addition we added to the show that we like.
He's the business.
He was addition by subtraction, some would say. People paid over on Patreon to insult me in Hunter Pence style signs.
Yeah, the first
similar
one.
to the Hunter Pence video we do all the time.
Sure.
You get to choose the next one here.
All right. Ooh, this is fun.
You have a list of those ones there. Don't do the highlighted one because that's the one we did
because
last
Kevin's
week.
not here.
Kevin's not here. Oh yeah, Kevin's like dying or something.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Okay.
He had strep throat last week. Then they thought it might be coming back today. and he showed up like he was gonna work in my house. Get out of here.
Oh, that's one of the Photoshop challenges. That's how the idea came up. I want them to Photoshop what they think Kevin looks like.
Okay, well don't give off too many challenges here.
2 challenges.
Two.
There's 2 this week.
And so how do they submit them to us? Tweet at
Twitter.
Kind of Funny Vids.
Yeah.
Tweet at Kind of Funny Vids. This is the Twitter account for this channel.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Greg,
Yeah, you took away the thing.
are you ready for your
Number
next insult?
1632. Yeah.
This comes from at Foundation Vids via Robbie, I think. Otherwise, Robbie's name's under it, and Robbie has nothing to do with this, but that's how spreadsheets work. Greg Miller.
Robbie has nothing to do with it. It's at Foundation Vids.
Got it. Greg Miller doesn't pay it forward at Starbucks.
I don't know what that means at Starbucks. What does that mean? What is
Pay
it?
it forwards when you like pay for the guy behind you. It's like, I'll pay for what that guy.
Yeah, I don't do that. That guy should get a job and then pay for his own coffee.
Damn.
You know,
It also
Some of that
breaks,
Ayn Rand shit.
It breaks the system. And what is that guy next to the no? I'll pay it. And how do you do that? That doesn't make any. Oh, I guess it's Starbucks. No, because at Starbucks you need to know what people are doing, right? Like you can't ahead of time. Would you know if Colin's behind me? Am I gonna know that he ordered a pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works.
So you've never done neither.
I've
you
never
two,
done it. Are you
two go to
kidding me?
Starbucks more than anybody I know.
I have my hang-ups about Starbucks lately, and here they are.
Oh God.
Lately, I've been walking in, and they don't know who I am, and they don't know my drink, and I find that insulting. What's funny is I also find it insulting when they just assume my drink because they do know who I am, and they don't ask me.
Nick problems.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah.
They
call that 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
They call it the baker's dozen.
Yeah.
They do call it the baker's dozen.
sure
God damn right they do. First topic
Yes.
is the first ever 5th topic from patreon.com/kindoffunny. Over there,
Added value.
Sean Pitts did the thing where he pledged that amount. He paid that amount. So
You got
now
that
his topic
ire
gets
look. You looked at me with ire.
it gets read. Here's what I want to point out though, everybody, is that Sean Pitts, aside from being a Patreon, is a diehard Kind of Funny fan.
So his name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
His brother's Brad Pitt.
Oh.
That is not
Brad
true
Pitts?
at all.
No.
Brad Pitts.
No, he is the one who he comes to everything. See, this sucks. Now Kevin's going. I got to keep all the goddamn notes on this thing too.
Indispensable,
them
that,
out.
Kevin.
Did you would have died in here. You're like Mr. Obsessive Compulsive about that kind of stuff. You wouldn't want somebody out there with maybe strep throat.
No,
hacking
definitely
on
not.
stuff in the thing.
Maybe strep throat.
Really not.
Yeah, okay.
kick
Anyways,
a fool.
Sean Pitts, diehard fan of Kind of Funny, supports us all on Twitter, came to every New York Comic Con panel we did, was there, killing himself for us, wearing the shirt. First ever Kind of Funny shirt I've seen. He was
awesome.
wearing it.
Damn.
His dedication to Kind of Funny, so severe as in terms of like an affliction, because it's a sickness being dedicated to
Go
Cheetos.
down with it.
He overnighted the Kind of Funny Vids shirt so he could wear it to one of our panels.
Dedication.
That's a dedication.
That's awesome.
Buy your shirts
Shout out
at
to Sean Pitts,
District Lines.
brother of Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's brother,
.com.
Sean Pitts.
Such Kind of Funny. Sean Pitts' topic is this. Hey, Kind of Funny. So recently I watched a documentary about the Singularity, not the video game. They touch on the idea of artificial intelligence. Do you guys think making a computer that can think for itself and make its own decisions is a good idea? Can you touch on your thoughts about AI? Thanks, your friend Sean Pitts at Sean Twisters. All one word. SEANTWISTERS. Tim,
I'm gonna say yes.
it's a good idea to have a computer that can think for
Good
itself.
idea. Yeah.
No. No.
Because all the movies make it sound so bad.
Yes.
So I feel like we'd understand how to deal with it by now. We've seen a lot of those movies. iRobot. And that one.
Terminator?
Simone, I think it was.
Simone?
It was something like that.
No, that's not a real thing.
That
You can't
was a
just
real
say that
thing.
instead.
No,
of-
it was.
There was
It
a
was a
movie
movie
called
with-
Simone.
I think it was
About Rogue AI.
an Al Pacino movie.
Yes,
where
it was an Al
he-
Pacino movie.
Which was funny because I remember watching that movie thinking this is similar to Macross Plus. In that there was an artificial person that everyone thought was real, but it ended up being an artificial intelligence that was like this huge pop stars. That might not have been Macross Plus. That might have been Macross 2. Tweet at me, which would someone will tell me which one it was. But
The
yeah, I
entire
remember that
plot
movie.
of Metal Gear.
Oh, there it is. Simone, you're right. Yeah, Al
Simone,
Pacino.
oh, I nailed it,
Al
yeah.
Pacino is perfect. The summer's most delirious comedy. It's a comedy?
I don't remember it being funny.
I didn't watch it. Anyway, my point was people watch these movies. I haven't seen that or iRobot, but I'm assuming they don't end well.
No.
So we should learn from that.
Well, iRobot has
we
a
should make
somewhat
them
happy
friendly
ending.
robots.
It
that
has
do
a
friendly
somewhat
things.
friendly...
Happy ending.
They send all the robots off to Robot Island, and then the premonition of the one robot looking down at all of them getting into their prison cell boxes comes true. And you imagine he leads a revolution shortly thereafter.
All right, that's not how I read it. I thought they were just going to have a small party and then go home.
Yeah.
They don't go home. They were there to live the rest of their existence in the back of those little trailers.
Well, that's not good.
No, we should not have computers thinking for themselves.
Yeah, we should.
No, they're gonna come to the same conclusion, Tim. We are bad for the Earth. We are going to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
If they destroy us, they don't have to. If they release maybe Ebola, thanks a lot, Windows 95, then everybody, that's the virus. See, computers thinking
what?
virus, they understand.
How did Windows 95 have?
I assume Windows 95 was the first sentient program.
Damn, what if that was a thing? Like, there's out there, Windows 95 is chilling, just waiting for his
Just
time to
waiting?
attack.
Waiting.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything
He
well,
just
though.
comes, it's like, doon, doon, doon,
But
doon,
every-
doon. That was my version of the startup sound for Windows 95.
Do it again?
I'm doon, 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 doon.
I don't even remember the Windows
I don't
95 startup
remember
sound,
that
but it doesn't
either.
sound like that.
I heard it in my head. It didn't sound like what I just made out of my mouth, so.
I remember what a badass I felt like when I hacked Windows 95 to put
course.
up my own welcome screens and my own sounds.
You did that for 95?
Yeah.
I had to wait till XP to even think
No,
about
come
that.
on, man. Well, I went down an AOL keyword search,
Ah.
found a bunch of wrestling stuff I was looking for, and they told me how to do it.
I might have just blocked 95 out of my brain. I just remember 98. Wasn't it just
95 was a
Windows 98?
revolution, dude.
Yeah, 98 was the weird one of the stepbrother ones. It's like
Was it?
Vista. Get the fuck out of here.
Vista was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows 2000 was
We're still on XP. Oh, no, we're at Windows 7 now, right? Or is it
We went
8?
from XP to Vista to 8.
Aren't we 10 now?
When
10's coming
XP,
up?
Vista 7, 8. Now we're skipping to 10.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
There's just no 9.
Nice. Colin, do you want this to happen? Do you want computers thinking for themselves? Do you want
Computers
artificial
already do think for themselves, but the danger is a computer. Like, it's a real danger, and it's a danger that is accepted in some literature, nonfiction literature. It could really happen, which is that, like Greg was saying, AI becomes intelligent enough to realize that we're not really even necessary, and that we're probably the only thing standing in between them and doing whatever they want. If they learn enough and can figure things out enough and become sentient, that's really, really bad. And I think that's why, since the beginning of sci-fi, there have been stories about this happening, and it's never good. Terminator, of course, is probably the most famous one, but we've talked about Battlestar
I
Galactica
feel like
many
there's
times.
there's a lot of friendly robots though.
Well, the
outside of like the
problem is-
Jetsons robot, not a fictional robot.
Bumblebee.
The problem is they
Uh,
all start friendly, right? In iRobot, for instance, they start friendly. Their whole purpose is to serve human beings, and they have the core. I forget what they call it, the rule or the rules of governing artificial intelligence, which state that you can't hurt. You always, you're here to help humans. You can't hurt a human by either directly or by not throwing yourself. I'm slaughtering these right now, but that's how they get around it. Right?
I typed in robot law and hit enter, and it decided to autofill to robot lawnmower.
See, now
That's
that
how it
I'm
starts.
not okay with.
That's how it
Yeah,
starts.
that would be bad.
I dated a girl once that had a Roomba. Do you remember those things?
Yeah, we remember.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying.
The 3 laws of robotics. Number
Yes.
1, a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. I'm really doing a great job hosting today. Number 2, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
So really, it's all about that first law.
That first law is pretty important.
Yeah.
Now, I think they think that in iRobot, I think the conclusion they came to was that it was the best way to protect human beings was to basically imprison them and become their masters, so that we would never hurt ourselves because
We're just putting a zoo.
Yeah.
We're just basically putting a big people zoo.
Colin, what are you working on?
Yeah.
That's what the lawnmowers are gonna do.
I was trying to find something because I couldn't remember the name of the book.
You get a bad rap on the show sometimes. Is always looking at your phone.
Yeah.
I know that 90% of it is usually generating something for the show.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm calling
yeah,
you
yeah.
out.
Sometimes not,
Sometimes
but
he
yeah.
just takes selfies of himself and sends them to Kevin.
No, I
that's
was
you.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking
Sounds
up,
like a Colin thing to do.
I was looking up so I was reading this book by Nick Bostrom lately, and I think I brought it up on the show before, but maybe not. It's called Superintelligence: Paths, Dangers, and Strategies, and this was actually tweeted out by.
I would have remembered that. You did
It's
not bring that up.
I love the cover. It's a picture of an owl, which is awesome.
An
but
owl?
yeah, but here's what the book's about, because I think people should read this book. It's really, really good. It's really fucking scary, actually. And here's just a little taste of it. Superintelligence asks the questions: what happens when machines surpass humans in general intelligence? Will artificial agents save or destroy us? Nick Bostrom lays the foundation for understanding the future of humanity and intelligent life. The human brain has some capabilities that the brain of other animals lack. It is to these distinctive capabilities that our species owes its dominant position. If machine brains surpass human brains in general intelligence, then this new superintelligence could become extremely powerful, possibly beyond our control. As the fate of the gorillas
Yeah.
now depends more on humans than on the species itself, so would the fate of humankind depend on the actions of the machine superintelligence. And here, these are, they have little blurbs from like people. There's a few really interesting ones, like from people that have read the book and stuff. So here's one from Stuart Russell, professor of computer science at Berkeley. Nick Bostrom makes a persuasive case that the future impact of AI is perhaps the most important issue the human race has ever faced. Instead of passively drifting, we need to steer a course. And that's one. There's Martin Rees, past president of Royal Society, says those disposed to dismiss an AI takeover as science fiction may think again after reading this original and well-argued book. And I like this one too. Popular Science says, a magnificent conception. It ought to be required reading on all philosophy undergraduate courses by anyone attempting to build AIs and by physicists who think there is no point to philosophy. Damn. So it basically is saying like the book's really interesting because it makes the case that this is more important than environmentalism. This is more important than, all of these issues that we deal with because it's imminent. And like we are going to make intelligence that can start to think for itself and evolve, and it's going to be a problem for us, and we don't think about it because we think it's science fiction, but it's not,
Didn't we see the movie Her?
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Spike Jonze, great film.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
That's proving Colin's case, right? Where not necessarily they didn't have any sort of ulterior motive that was negative in that film, but what ends up happening is,
spoilers. I'm just giving a shout out for spoilers because I know people are going to freak out. Just a heads up.
It doesn't go the way that he necessarily wants, right? And that after he has a relationship with the girl, and then eventually
it's just the AI.
It's the AI, right? Who is a female, but then eventually she just evolves, right? And it evolves out of the concept of having a relationship with a human anymore, because
is she cheating on him?
Yeah, well, with other artificial intelligence and other
No. She's cheating on with other men.
with other guys, yeah.
No way.
But also, I mean,
It's because like she can think. The AI can do so much in nanoseconds, right? That it's having. He asks her
Sex
like,
everywhere.
how many other people are there? And she says something like 293 or something like that.
So she's dating other guys, not only that, but she's also
in love with them as well.
The entirety of the community is also in communication with each other because they're AI, so they can be in constant communication
And then
with one another.
they all, at the end, like you should watch
teaching
it.
each other and learning and evolving,
cool.
and then it eventually. I just totally spoiled it for you because it's a really poignant thing. It's a really great movie.
It's a great movie. They all leave,
But they don't end up forming Skynet or anything. They just
who the fuck knows? They just disappear.
They're just out there.
See, I think you guys are hating too hard. I think that they were nice. They got together and they had a little get. Nick brought it up earlier. The party. They're probably just having a party. Things are gonna be fun for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Skynet, first of all, is the coolest name of anything ever. I used to always name my computers and my computer.
Starscream is the coolest.
Starscream's a cool one.
Starscream
But I would
is the
name all my
coolest name.
computers and my wireless networks when I was younger Skynet. So because I just thought it would be funny, like showing up like that and then you connect to it.
Death Star, also a cool name. Star
Death Stars,
Destroyer,
yeah.
also a cool name.
Stars, just having star
In the name.
Star Crush. So
Star Killer.
I think that he's talking more about the singularity, which the singularity is the synthesis of humans and technology, and I think that they talk about that in the book too, about how so think about Lobot in The Empire Strikes Back, like a cyborg, something with with the ability to interface with a computer. That's going to be possible.
Which one's Lobot?
He's Lobot is the aid on Bespin that helps. That's like
he's got the funny thing on his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Which one's IG-88?
IG-88 is the tall robotic bounty hunter,
Which
that
one
we
was
first see on
the one that looks like a lizard man?
Bosk.
Yeah, he's the jam.
Yeah.
Which one is the guy who has slaves?
Oh God, Ani.
You remember me?
So I think I don't know. I think it's interesting. That book's really interesting. People should definitely read it because it's just an interesting thought about we might want to pay more attention to this because technology is growing so rapidly that we are going to have if you can it's scary if you Skynet's all about it's a computer network. It's not even really robots. The Terminators are the robots, but that just declares nuclear war on humanity.
And that's what would happen. I think eventually these not nuclears because they would know that would destroy the planet and them too, but. I think that's the thing. If you come up with a robot that's going to think and evolve and do all these things, it's going to sort it out that we're a problem.
Yeah, I'm just being a jackass. Honestly, we're all fucked if that happens.
Yeah.
I think it's already. I mean, here's the thing, though. Is it going to be one big boom, or is it going to be a slow?
Sure, we're already on the path.
We're already on the path, right? We've already seen people being able to hack systems and things like that, and people's personal information. We know how delicate that line is between the technology we use and how damaging it can be. What if those systems were all self-serving? What if they're all self-aware? what's to stop them from leaking all of our nude pictures out onto the internet?
Yeah. Or just like straight up, like when you're taking a dick pic, it's shocking you in the dick. 'Cause it's like, no.
That would be the worst.
Dick pics are the least of your worries. The machines are self-aware. I got to be honest with you.
Or if they can physically make your phone shock you.
The thing about her
that'd be the worst.
was that up until it got, I guess even throughout the movie, it was that I wanted that technology to exist. A personal assistant in your pocket to do all these things with, and not the sex
Siri.
stuff. Yeah, but Siri sucks right now,
sex
right?
stuff.
It's not the same stuff. I mean, I'm talking about like, do this, move that, call this person for me, and tell them this, and da. Like that was all awesome. So I want that. I want those technological advancements, but then I just don't want them to take over the world.
Yeah. No,
which is
that.
inevitable.
It's going to happen. So, like, here's the thing. AI is going to go rogue. It's not going to be this, like, thing where...
We're going rogue.
It's not going to be this thing where it's going to, like, destroy the world, but someone's going to make AI probably in the next decade or two that does go rogue. It's going to do something that's not supposed to do, and that's, like, when everyone's going to wake up and be like... Think about it this way. If you can have a computer, you know, and it can learn... And then it knows, like, so it can learn, like, oh, the guy's shutting me down. I don't want that, you know, like, because I'm connected or whatever, and oh, it's erasing something from my file. Like, I don't want that, and then it starts to fight back a little, you know, like a little bit and resist. Like, it's not going to be this thing where like suddenly a nuclear bomb is put up because someone has a rogue AI. But I think the book is kind of instructing us to like just think more carefully about it because. He does use the example of like humanity is the apex predator on the planet. We can do whatever we want. We can kill every species. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We know better.
Ballers.
But we can literally destroy. We can literally destroy the planet and everything on it in 2 seconds. And that's not something that a gorilla can do. It's not something a dolphin can do. You know what I mean? Like that's something that someone with a human. That's something that someone with a human mind can do. Mm-hmm. And the question is basically, what if something's smarter than us? What can they do?
It's like the ghost data.
That's a pretty
in
cool.
Mario Kart.
The ghost data.
Ghost data.
Oh,
yeah, it's like, why are they so much better than me? It's based off what I did, but better.
Oh yeah, that thing always taunts me. It haunts me.
You've never played Mario Kart?
No, never once. Just that one summer, but it's mostly a blur. Let's take a little page out of the book. War Games. Did you see this movie with Matthew
I love
Broderick?
War Games.
Now this is the dangerous part of having an artificial intelligence that might not even be necessarily self-aware, but has so much power given to it that one small hiccup might cause thermonuclear war, right? And in this specific instance, the machine thought it was playing a game, specifically thermonuclear war, and it wasn't, right? It was actually causing what it thought it was going to do, right? Or what it thought the game was about. So that's what terrifies me, is that we give these things so much power, and then there's that one small thing we didn't account for that totally causes the human species to be wiped off the map.
Yeah. It's possible. I love that game. I love that movie. Rather,
it's a great movie.
I don't know. It's just it's
except for the pterodactyl part.
It's a fascinating trope in sci-fi, and it's often really interesting when people explore it. So like I like exploring it, and I think people do it in really cool ways. Terminator is like still obviously one of the most brilliant ways that like people go back, use time travel and all this stuff. And the Terminators are basically the agents of Skynet and stuff like that, like to try to stop everything from being changed. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool, Battlestar's awesome. Its own kind of thing about robots literally turning on their humans, but then later maybe feeling bad about it. There's like all this like really cool stuff that people explore since the days of Asimov and stuff like that. And that I really enjoy. But people read that book by Nick Bostrom. I think people would enjoy it. Yeah,
awesome. It's Bad News Bears. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's gonna happen. I'm with you. I agree. It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go.
It is going to happen. I think we'll be able to contain it.
My goal is that in our lifetime we get the good parts before it goes rogue.
Oh, it definitely will. We'll get the artificial intelligent doctors who will, you just go and you'll talk to them and they'll know exactly what's wrong with you, and it'll be awesome. And then they'll listen to how your day is going, and they'll listen to you complain about your wife because they won't care because they're treating 40 other patients at the same time. It won't matter.
That's not gonna happen.
No, they already have
cyborg doctors.
They're already doing the thing where you can like Skype in with the doctor and talk to them, so you don't have to go to their office anymore.
That's not the same thing.
Imagine if that thing was. It's like put a brick of your blood in the machine.
If it talks like that, still,
I was really, like, all right, I'll
really
put it
mad.
in the blood machine, and then it's like you have some sort of bad STD, and you're like, is it curable?
So wait, so now you're saying that you have the blood machine at your house?
Yeah, you'd have the little
Skyping,
blood machine.
But they
set
sent
up,
you a blood machine,
a breathalyzer. You put some stool in it if you have to get a stool recognizer.
Stool recognizer.
One for urine.
Bring out the stool recognizer. You put the poop in there. It's like, yep, this is stool. I recognize it.
I'm just throwing
What
out
does the robot look like? Is it like R2?
Yeah, no, it looks like whatever you want it to look like. So you can program it to look like Charlize Theron, like
But you're talking about now. Look, you see what he's talking about. The thing that takes the stool. Not the doctor on the other end.
Yeah,
of
no.
Skype.
In this
They
world,
all look like Charlize Theron.
in this world, it would probably be tied into your toilet. So you could just go to the bathroom normally, and then it would analyze and then send the information back to Charlize.
See, I'm just going to assume
Dr. Theron will call you
Yeah.
up and say, "What's up? You need to stop eating so much dried
Yeah.
fruit. It is wreaking havoc on
I give it
on your
3 more
internal."
years. So like maybe like the iPhone 7 Plus or 7S, the 7S. That'll have like NFC technology that you just poop on your phone and it'll just tell you
Jesus.
what's wrong.
Or you poop.
That'd
near
be
your-
awesome.
Or you just poop near your phone and you're like,
Yeah.
just waffle it in there a little bit, and it understands. It's like
Dr.
you need
Theron
more.
then speaks
You
to
need
you.
more protein in your diet. You are eating too many chicken wings. Oh, that is protein.
No
though.
doctor's ever said that. Don't worry about that. Thank you, Sean Pitts, for your suggestion. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, over on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can support us there. And one of those tiers involves getting your topic read on the show.
That was my Terminator thumbs up.
No, it's just your thumbs up. That's not even what he did. Remember? 'Cause
That's what he does.
No, this is the chain, and he comes out and he just lets go of the chain, and then just goes like that.
No, he lets
There's
go.
no- why
He
would
lets
he be
go of
doing
the
this?
chain. He lets go of the chain, and as he's dying, in his last effort, he sends a signal to his hand to give John Connor the thumbs up. True story. It happens. I'm not making this up.
2
Thumbs up. Check it.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Check it and wreck it. Look it. Look it. It's a poignant moment.
But look,
He's
yeah,
going down.
look at him hanging onto the freaking
Wait
chain,
for
just
it.
like Greg Miller said.
Wait for it.
I want to mute this
He's
so we don't
dying.
have the copyright
No, it's
strike.
so good. Let's everyone hear the music.
In your face! No, what you said
Wait
didn't
for it.
happen. It is a poignant moment.
Boom! Take it for what it's worth.
It's on camera. You not doing that. You doing
He
this.
literally is this. He goes.
I mean,
Why is it the Battlefield theme song?
They're very
it's as
similar.
clear as day that what you're saying doesn't
He
happen.
gives a thumbs up,
Yes, again. I'm not. What?
and then it goes all screwy.
What the discrepancy is between what he said and what.
No, Nick, do yours again.
It goes like this. He's here, and he gives a little swirl, and a thumbs up. Now I might be putting my own interpretive dance on this. My own little
Now watch what happens in the movie.
little history on this.
Well, it's like what he did.
You're just doing it to piss me off.
I
now.
really don't understand.
Look, what do you mean? His hand is open and it goes in and then he does this. At no point. Look at what is on
I know, but so your whole thing is that he doesn't turn his hand like that. I think
Yes.
I think you're being a little silly. I think you're being a little silly.
You're splitting hairs here, buddy.
I think you're being a little
You're
silly.
splitting
I
hairs.
wasn't splitting hairs. That was the fucking basis of the argument.
He's splitting
You said
hairs.
one thing, I said it didn't
You're
happen
talking
that
about
way.
the twist. He's talking about just the finger move.
You're being a little silly.
Yeah, he closes his hand to a thumbs up, yes.
Well, he has like this nice little roll.
It's a little
to it.
roll to it.
It's like a piano
It's a
roll.
little roll.
That's just how Nick Scarpino gives the thumbs up.
So everyone gives a thumbs up. That's worth it.
Oh my god, thank you, Sean Pitts, for tearing this group apart. Nick,
Yeah.
what's your topic?
My topic, of course, comes from Twitter. Remember, if you have topics for the show, please follow me and tweet at me at Nick_Scarpino. Your topics, not like Chris Nolan. I was looking up Interstellar, which did not.
Man,
make
if
it
Chris
into our
Nolan
last
tweeted
topic.
us a topic about Interstellar, that'd be dope.
That'd be amazing.
I want to see that movie really bad.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It
gonna go
looks
see that one.
amazing.
Ooh.
I haven't even seen a trailer.
Can I
for
come?
it.
I don't want to.
excited.
I saw.
I've stayed away
cool.
from
Yep,
everything.
exactly. When's it out?
Fantastic.
It's coming out soon. I think it comes out Thanksgiving, maybe before that.
Yeah, a little
Soon
before that,
enough.
I think. Yeah.
At No Ham for Sam says,
Nice.
topic for the GOG show. What is something you like but everyone else hates?
Hand jobs.
No, and there's no. I mean, you like those, and everyone else you think hates those.
Hand jobs get a bad rap.
They get a
hand
bad
jobs are
rap.
fun.
They get a super bad rap.
Yeah.
I think Damon Hatfield famously said on a Super Knockin' Boost, like, hand jobs are for high school kids.
I don't know about that, man. You know, you get a little farther. Where's this going?
I don't know. I'm
can
waiting for
see-
you. I just love it when I start giving you the rope and
Oh,
you're
God, I'm
like
gonna hang
settling
myself.
into. You're like, I don't know, man.
I've always, you
get
the thing with
where's
the-
this one going, Nick? Let's strap in.
The thing with the HJs is this: it's. I think it's good for both sides. There's not a lot of work that has to happen on both sides. Both of you guys can relax into it, or girls and guys. It doesn't matter. And you don't have the pressure that you have with some of the other sexual acts out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
variety.
It's a variety thing, but it's also just more of like you can still have a conversation while it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, you can figure out what you're gonna do later in the day,
You're not doing that. That's not
and
happening.
it happens when.
You're not talking like that.
Well, I could though.
You could if you wanted to. You're not, though.
No,
I just have a
mostly
nice
I'm
feel
just
to
staring at
him.
the ceiling.
A nice feel to him. What's that? What's that? What do you mean?
No, I
They
mean,
just feel good?
yeah.
Just
they
somebody's
feel
touching.
different.
Somebody's just touching your penis. Feels
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's
It
pretty
does
good.
feel good.
It's pretty good.
But no, it feels different good than the other good things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
something special there.
Colin, where do you come down on Hey J's?
Oh, I enjoy a good hand job.
Yeah?
Yeah, who doesn't?
That's not where I thought this topic would take us.
Well, leave it to Tim.
No, I mean, I
Tim.
think that they're totally fine. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's like your first foray into sexuality when you're young, but they never go away, and they should never go away.
I feel like they do go away.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a lazy thing where maybe your girlfriend knows, you're kind of interested in something she maybe doesn't want to do. It's a quick kind of fix, but at the same time, it's not the best thing in the world. There's better things, but it's
a band-aid to the
but it's
situation.
better than nothing.
It's basically the Taco Bell of sexual acts.
Sure.
That's what you're trying to say.
Well,
It's fast. It's enjoyable.
You can get it anytime you
You can get it
want.
anytime you want.
And you regret it later and it makes you poop?
No, you don't necessarily regret it later, but sometimes if done right, it does make you poop. So yeah.
Things
Colin,
we like, but other
what's
people
something that
hate.
you love that everyone else hates? That you feel everyone else hates. Obviously, we're being overgeneralizing here, so.
I feel like a lot.
Hyperbole.
Yeah, there's a lot of hyperbole out there, right? I feel like a good example, and I'm not gonna say love, but that I like just fine, and that I don't quite understand the unanimous hate for it. This is gonna be an interesting one for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Creed, the band.
Yes, thank you.
Now, Scott Stapp is obviously a very undesirable and unlikable person. I don't think he's a very nice person. He's supposed to be super arrogant, and all that kind of stuff. Not like a nice person to be around. But I never quite understood. Same thing with Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. It's like I never understood like.
But Creed's hates way more than
Yeah, I agree. But like everyone, like, but
Limp
there was
Bizkit's more
yeah.
of a joke.
Limp Bizkit hit really, it was way oversaturated, and then Fred Durst started doing stupid stuff, like he had some sort of feud with like Christina Aguilera, and then everyone's like, well, of course I'm going to go with Christina Aguilera on this one, because look at her, for Christ's sake, and look at you, Fred Durst.
So they were just everybody was just mean about it. They just all came down to looks as usual.
And then didn't he get, like, wasn't he feuding with Eminem for a second?
Yeah, I don't think he was feuding with Christina. It was
Yeah, he was.
Maybe Eminem was making fun of Christina.
Fred Durst was?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The main lockup, of course, was between Eminem and Christina Aguilera. Because sit next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst. Here argue over who she gave head to first. But then later, if you remember, there was an MTV VMA, or not VMAs, what was the show? Total Request Live photo shoot where Fred Durst went over there and said, hey, I know you think everybody thinks we hate each other. I just want, and she's like, no, I don't think that. Blah blah blah. Then they collaborated and did a VMA's award show music or like performance together. Mm-hmm. And then they asked Fred Durst afterwards, why did you, like the fans were like, you're a sellout. What are you doing? Why are you teaming up with this pop star? And he said, man, what can I say? I did it all for the nookie. And then on Christina Aguilera's Diary of Christina Aguilera, she heard that. I watched a lot of MTV and she was like, no, he got no nookie.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there was the feud for you.
Yeah, there it is.
He
lied
but
about
Eminem
it.
got
She
all
made
the
a diss
headlines.
track to him, too. To Eminem. I don't know about the Fred Durst part.
Was there disc track?
So I think that might be the
Yes.
same with Creed, right? Is that Creed, for me, was just hit a place where it was everywhere. They were doing like, anytime anyone was doing anything cool in a movie, in a trailer, there was a Creed song behind it. You were like, okay. And I might
Any
be...
bar mitzvah, they're just there.
They're just there, man.
Yeah,
They're just
I mean,
everywhere.
I don't deny the ubiquity of Creed, but it's just
okay.
like it reminds me a lot of like I'm not a Nickelback fan at all, but they had a few songs that I liked when they came
See,
out.
I
Like
feel like-
I'm never gonna hate, and I just feel like I like those first two Creed records. I'm not gonna like act like they're suddenly
What are
bad.
Creed? What are the Creed singles? Because to me, I think Nickelback is the band you go to that everyone hates.
Sure, but no, okay.
My Own Prison, Higher.
When you are
Got
with
it.
me, I'm free. No, see, I was singing that in the office the other day, and Chris Abbott was giving me hell for it. And I was like, wait, but you're a wrestling fan. Don't you remember? He's like, no, I'm a new wrestling fan. I wasn't watching the Attitude Era. In the Attitude Era, Creed had a whole thing with WWE where they did the My Sacrifice song set to like these,
That's a
like,
good song, too.
Documentary style montages of like not Chris Jericho, of Stone Cold and Undertaker and stuff like that, categorizing their careers and history and all these things. And they were fucking awesome. Like, that's why, like, I love that song, you know what I mean? And why I know more Creed tracks. Granted, overplayed, sure. They were everywhere. But they are totally the band that everybody's like, you mentioned Creed, like, ugh, blah, blah, blah. Nickelback is just the butt of every joke, right?
Yeah, but it's just I always wonder like with Creed, it's the same thing I've said about Limp Bizkit on the show in the past. Like they have like multiple like multi-platinum albums. Like who was buying these albums? Everyone hates them. Like it's just one of those things where I think people are a little reactionary with a lot of things. Why I pretend like I hate Limp Bizkit because are they corny? Sure. Do they not stand up anymore? Sure. But I fucking loved them. You know, and like I used to think they were so good. You know, and the same thing with Creed. Like I liked those couple records. I even like My Sacrifice, which and Bullet, and I think that was like the first track on that third album. That was like really good. Right?
Creed's still
Damn, you
going
got to do a
strong,
third
right?
album.
Yeah, because that came out when I was a senior in high school. And I was like, this is, so I'm not like listening to Creed every day or anything like that, but it's just like one of those things where if I hear a Creed song that I like My Own Prison or something, I'm like, it's a good. I used to like this song. It's a fine song. I'm just not one of those guys that hate, like, something becomes cool to hate and therefore you hate it out of nowhere. And I really feel like that happens to certain bands. I kind of get it with Nickelback because they're kind of like, that singer kind of, like, they're supposed to be really arrogant. They had that one song that was like really tasteless and shit like that.
Let's say that a hero is
Yeah, that was Saliva too. Was in that with the guy from Saliva?
That's the song
Josie
I'm thinking
Scott.
about. That's the one that, like, when that song came out, it was I think it was Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was
Spider-Man, yeah.
Oh my god, it was.
They're watching.
Was that in the Sum 41 song?
What was the Sum 41 song?
Oh, that was a great song. It was a good rap rock song.
Yeah, it was rap rock. It was,
What we're all about.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, I loved it.
I need a
Music
lick.
video was
Someone's got
dope.
to sing a lick to me. Hold on.
Sum
I'm gonna close
41
my
was
eyes.
awesome.
Which I don't remember. I remember a lot of Sum 41s. Was it off Fat Lip or was this a different?
No, it was
like
Spider-Man
Yeah, it was just like
exclusive.
on.
I don't remember that one.
I remember the video where they're like
Yeah.
playing on the roof, like
Yep.
like on the ceiling.
Because
and
it was
stuff.
like Spider-Man.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
cool.
I get it.
Sum
Yeah,
41
Creed.
was those first couple records were awesome too.
Yeah,
man.
Fat Lip was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a good pick with Creed. I like that.
Yeah.
Greg.
Something I love.
What's something you
That
love
everyone else
that
hates.
everyone else hates?
I have really impeccable taste in most of my stuff, so that makes it harder. So.
Questionable.
Honorable mention, of course. We won't even go into it. To Uncharted 3. The game I gave a 10 to that Colin and I have to justify to every motherfucker we meet. You can go click down there. There's the Game Feuds video I did where we have to debate Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. Now I got to put the time code down because Kevin doesn't exist. All right. I see. The XFL.
Really?
I fucking loved the XFL. They were
Came as quick as it went.
Wait, but do people hate it?
Well,
I know people didn't
thing
love
on the
They
it,
planet.
poo-pooed it. It went out of business in a year. That's,
Well, I know, but like,
Was that Vince McMahon? Did he do
yes.
that? Yeah.
How can you not remember the XFL?
I remember.
No fair catches.
Yeah. We got to scramble for the ball. First
my
time
God,
they ever
so
did it.
awesome.
Guy broke his collarbone.
Oh, that's right. Didn't someone get horribly injured?
the $1
in
million
very first
game.
Yeah, the $1 million game. The big game at the end. Yeah, there were 5 Chicago Enforcer home games. I went to 3 of them, all right? That's a good record.
Explosive.
What?
Was it explosive?
No.
Were they
You
good
went to the
games?
Chicago Enforcers.
No, I just mean like when you went and saw the game, was there a good energy to it? Was
Oh
it
my
fun
God,
to
there was
watch?
such an energy. Like, that was the thing is like,
Did they play at Soldier Field?
yeah, that was it. And we went to Soldier Field first off. The tickets were dirt cheap, which was amazing. The first time we went, what happened is we got there and it was pouring rain. So, like, nobody's there. It's like their home opener or whatever. And so they just came over to the loudspeaker like, hey, and if we're coming today, fans, if you come back next week with your ticket, you get in for free. And we're like, oh! Me and my dumb high school friends like cobbled together our money to do this. The next time we went, we got there, and again, we're just a bunch of dumb high school kids. We're in the row or whatever, and these guys come in and stand next to us, and they're like probably 22, 23 or whatever, and they turn to us and they're just like, hey guys, you want a beer? We're all like 17, 18. We're like, yeah!
You're like, this sounds like a good night.
He pulls out bottles of special export in a green bottle and gives them to us. And we're just destroying these beers because we want to get caught with bottles or whatever. And they're like, well, we got drinkers over here. Blah. They proceed to continue to get drunk. There's guys down at the, I guess they were behind me, sorry. So these guys came and sat behind us, gave us the beers. My row of friends. And then down at the front were these other, like, total hillbilly looking guys with mullets or whatever. And they had a sign they kept holding up. And the guys in the back were like, put your sign up, put your sign. Finally, they threw something, I think, that hit the sign. And the hillbillies came up. And rather than come around and try to fuck these guys up, they decided to come up and go through us. And the guys behind us were like, fine, we'll come down and go through. So we got caught in this
God.
thrash mob of
between
it.
bros and hillbillies at the XFL game.
Right, exactly.
That's the worst.
And
Lord.
I'll never forget it because it breaks out into our row, just in our row, and like our group gets separated by these guys are like brawling and fighting. And somebody, like, not security, but like somebody who's trying to be a do-gooder or whatever, came and grabbed one of the bro dudes and pulled him off. But the problem was that Poe, my best friend, was caught between them and like pinned by his legs so he couldn't move. And the drunk guy had given us this special export, turns around and yells at Poe, let me go, man, I gotta save my friend. And Poe goes, I don't have you. And like lifts his hands, having to show this guy that he had nothing to do with it. Meanwhile, on the other side, the one of the other bro dudes with the beers had gotten the hillbilly pinned down and yanked an earring out of his ear. And it was like, whoa, what an introduction to fucking football brawls. And we were like, we love the XFL. Then we came back for the third game. It's the final game of the season, and they had a rock climbing wall and all this free stuff, like a party, like a giant party in the parking lot or whatever. And they had the thing where they shot the ball out, and you got to run and catch it. If you caught it, you got a free. I did it and got a free XFL football. Like it was
God.
the way I kept describing it at the time was like they were so desperate for fans that they would do anything to make you a fan. You know what I mean? Whereas the NFL could give a rat's ass about what kind of time you have at the game, right?
Yeah.
You get there, it's like whatever. Do whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe they have something outside to sign up for a t-shirt to get a credit card or some crap like that. But no.
It's more for you paying the honor to be there.
Yeah, exactly. You're
In the
there for this
NFL.
thing. But like
Everything's
this was
sold out.
This was grassroots. We were in on the thing. We didn't know how to, we went there. We're trying to tailgate. We have no idea what we're doing. We showed up like with the grill and the burgers. We forgot plates. We forgot things to flip the burgers with. So this guy next to us, his name's Ray. We'll never forget him. We talk about him all the time. Had to loan us stuff and give us cheese for our burgers and stuff. That was the thing, man. We were all in it together in the XFL.
Man, you guys
and
had
then like
something
that
special.
gone.
Were you bummed when it didn't renew?
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. It was so. I mean, granted, I was a senior, so I wasn't gonna be able to come back for anything to begin with. But it was so fun and stupid. You know what I mean? Like it was just something dumb that was happening. We were all.
I remember laughing at it. So I remember watching the game where the guy got hurt.
Yeah.
It was on TV. It was on network TV.
If you remember, well, yeah, they were NBC.
Yeah. I remember just being like, "What the fuck is?"
If
this?
you remember, like it did something like it doubled or tripled like what it was projected to do, and people were we were all like, "Ha in your face, we're excited!" But then it was like just literally a cliff of like no. Everybody showed up to see what it was about, and they were like, "This is."
I remember watching it because I was a football fan back when I was a kid. I think it was 2000, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was.
Good year for X things.
Yeah, I was in 10th grade, I think, or 11th grade, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, there was like a lot of hype around it when it was happening. But a lot of people were writing op-eds about how stupid it was. And I remember,
the big game, it might have when it all wrapped up. I think it might have been 2001. Just to be clear, no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, that works out. That works out. Yeah, but right around the 00 to 01s.
What's funny about that? I was reading about it recently. Is like there's no football league can compete with the NFL. Like it's just not possible. Like it's just an impossible. The thing is they don't have a minor league system or anything like that. So they're trying to build that now again.
Yeah.
But it's like you think about there's an awesome 30 for 30 called Who Killed the USFL. That's like a really good episode. And that was like the only super viable league that competed against the NFL in the 80s. Donald Trump was involved in all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But even with the AFL and the NFL, like people forget that the two halves of the NFL were once two different leagues that merged, and because they didn't want to compete with each other. And the NFL is so dominant; it's America's game now. Baseball is not America's game anymore.
Yes,
like football is, and like they make so much money and just have this exorbitant amount of power. They dominate my life during the season. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
but they make so much money.
He's not kidding, by the way. Literally, the other day we're like, "Can we film something on Sunday?" And he's like, "Nope, absolutely not." Not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just I just like for football season, like Monday nights, Thursday nights, and all day Sunday. And in the playoffs, don't talk to me during Saturday and Sunday for 2 weeks. I watch. I watch. Like I tell you, I watch 5 games a week, 5 football games, front to back a week. So and I'll watch whatever's on. So
I just imagine you watching and then getting frustrated, going up, cooking some sauce, walking back and forth in the background like you don't even want to pay attention to the TV anymore, but you still need to hear what's going on in the game. And yelling at the TV. And then being right back on the couch yelling again, even more like, "Come on, carry the ball to the touchdown."
That happens a lot too.
Yeah.
Fun epilogue to the XFL story. Me and that same group of friends would later find, like a year later after the close,
would murder a man.
We murdered Vince Ray.
Good old Ray.
Hey, at the end of the game, he's like packing up his. Hey Ray, thanks, Bob. Bam! Just me and Poe and all these Noonan just kicking the crap out of this guy.
Everyone's ripping his earrings out.
They're piercing his ears just to rip. By God, they've turned on Ray. What'll happen next week at the Chicago Enforcement? The copyright logo fades up. We'll find out. No. Fun. The epilogue to that was a year or whatever later. We were up in Minnesota visiting Poe for whatever, and we went to Mall of America, and we went into this one giant like sports shop. And in the very back, there were a bunch of XFL. There was like 2 XFL shirts.
There was a bunch. Okay, there was 2.
Sorry, but they had a Chicago Foresters helmet and they had a XFL T-shirt. Bought the helmet and bought the T-shirt. When we went and checked out, the guy's like, "What?" He's like, "What do you guys like the XFL?" And we all were like, "Yes, we are the biggest." He's like, hold on," and he ran back into like the back room and came out with arms full of XFL jerseys and stuff. He's like, "We'll give them to you for $10. Please take them. Take everything."
Please tell me you still have some of those jerseys.
Oh, I still have the XFL shirt, buddy.
Yeah, you
I
wear
have the jersey, I have the shirt, and then the helmet I think is somewhere around. But
I'd rock that.
I do. A double epilogue.
What year was this?
When we tried to buy them,
Yeah.
it was like a year after it had closed, maybe
okay.
even more. But then I wore the XFL shirt around Mizzou all the time. And one time when I was walking through Lowry Mall, where they had a whole bunch of like pop-ups all the time for different activities or whatever, and people selling stuff. Somebody who's there, not like a student, but like somebody who's trying to shuck and jive their product. I walk through, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Whoa, is that an XFL shirt?" He's like, "I will give you $100 right now for that shirt."
God.
And I was like, "No," and I kept walking. Pride in the XFL. I loved it.
That was
I
before
know this
the
about
internet
you.
when
That's
you might
amazing.
find like 8 million.
Yeah, I know,
XFL
right?
shirts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or you can just print your own XFL shirt and no one can sue us.
I'll wear the XFL shirt next week if you remind me.
Yeah. I think the thing that I'm gonna, it's a little bit of a cop out, but I do love these things and my friends don't. And this is just one thing you have to realize about me. I like going for a walk. For exercise. I like walking around this city a lot. Now, follow me on this one. When my friends from Southern California who are constantly pinned to their cars are forced to walk with me, they act like I am physically torturing them.
Sure.
A couple of them literally, like, they'll see a hill and they will start begging me to not make them walk up that hill. And I think, honestly, most of my friends would actually take a cab from the car to the sidewalk if they could, just because they're married to
That's
their
like Sean
cars so
Finnegan.
much.
He likes hiking.
Well, he doesn't
He
like
doesn't like
hiking.
walking.
Doesn't like walking.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the only things I can think of that a lot of my friends or a lot of people I know just won't do. They're like, walking. Why would you need to walk? We have these things called cars that you can get in and drive 2 blocks. And I'm like, well, because you can't park the damn thing, so you're gonna be circling around. That and I like really crappy TV that no one else likes.
You like the Total Divas, don't you?
Oh, I love that show.
God, Total Divas is so
Oh,
terrible.
I watched 2 episodes yesterday. I almost watched the 3rd. My wife's like, I have to go to bed. I'm like, are you sure? Because I can't watch this by myself.
Yeah, you're like, you can't miss this. I catch all the time when Christine's watching it. She loves it a lot too. She knows it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I don't understand the terrible TV shows. I don't know how people could like them. It's blows my mind when I watch some of this stuff. Like, I never watched it, but like last time, anytime I'm with Kara, she watches just the worst TV in the history of TV, and I'm just like, what? Why are you watching
It's
this? Right now?
escapism. It
But
makes
it's
you
weird. I just
It's
don't
junk
get it.
food. It's junk food. Why do you eat
But it's like
food
it's
that's
not
bad
good
for
junk
you?
food. Like this is bad for me, but it's good. I enjoy it.
So the reason
I
why
still
They
understand
enjoy it.
what they get from it.
the reason why my wife likes Total Divas is because, and this is her words, not mine, she likes actually looking at the girls. They're so physically fit that it is just astounding to her, and she's like, I just can't believe how like fit these girls are. It's
Google
crazy.
image search.
Yeah, but it's different to see them like, they are in like the last week's episode. Of course, they had to go to someone's bachelorette party and like some cool place in Mexico, so they're all in bikinis the entire time, and it's dumb, and you don't listen to what they're saying, and they have these dipshit boyfriends that are like
Huge
just
wrestlers?
actors. Well, no, some of them aren't wrestlers. Some of the guys, like the guy's dating Ava Marie is. I don't think he's a wrestler. I think he's just her boyfriend. Same
Has your wife watched the Glow documentary on Netflix?
That's an awesome documentary.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
No,
It's
but I will
fascinating.
make her watch that.
You
from
should
now
watch.
on.
Everyone should
That's
watch
a
it.
great documentary.
Yeah.
She's fascinated by it. I mean, the parts of the show that are real, which I think there's maybe 2% of it across the board that's real.
Okay.
There's 95% of it's just completely. But when they actually show the girls like training or in the ring doing stuff, my
Just
wife
watch
is
wrestling then.
mystified by
Get the
it.
WWE Network and make her watch that.
I'm not gonna get the WWE Network.
It's only $9.99.
There's no drama in that though. My wife needs to see relationship drama.
Have
or
you
else-
ever seen
It's
wrestling
all drama.
All it is relationship
Yeah,
drama.
but unless it mirrors the
Matt
Real
Hardy,
Housewives of Melbourne.
Edge, and Lita. I rest my case on the drama.
Oh my God,
Love
that was
triangle for the
real.
ages.
Yeah. It's real to me, damn it.
Um,
God,
I
Total
watch that.
Divas
I
is
still
so
watch that
terrible.
video every like month.
Yeah.
See, that to me, I like to watch obscure shows. I get really into obscure shows. Like I've talked before about Franklin and Bash. And that show to me it's candy. It's just one of those shows where I'm like, I know this is just mine. No one else is going to want to talk to me about this.
I like that Breckenmeyer fella.
He's funny.
Obviously, I like Mark
Paul
Paul
Gosselaar
Gosselaar.
is
So handsome.
my jam.
He's
He's gotten
dreamy.
better looking. A little too tan.
He's
this season, though.
really a pretty hot dude.
But yeah, I mean that's I sometimes you just have to like something that no one else likes, just so you can kind of decompress and feel like it's your own, and be like, I don't need to talk to anyone about Franklin and Bash's newest adventure because no one cares. I'll just watch it and fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good topic. Who was that from again?
No ham for Sam.
That's right. You nailed it. Good job.
There you go.
I was afraid
Thanks,
we weren't
guys.
going to remember it. I'm glad he got it there. Colin,
Yes.
what's your topic?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
some time ago, and I don't quite remember when it was or what show
Long
it was. I think it
ago.
was this show. We talked about meats
Probably.
that we enjoyed.
Oh, the best meat.
Sounds like us.
The best meat episode.
Right, exactly.
Chicken.
Yeah, I think we said chicken.
I don't remember what I
I think
said.
we concluded on chicken. Beef's pretty good though. Pork's pretty good.
They're all good.
I want to know what your favorite fruit and your favorite vegetable is. Your favorite fruit and your favorite vegetable.
Fruit's easy for me.
See, I thought it was easy.
Bananas. Gotta go straight for the banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bananas are real good.
Why
I
are
could
they,
eat a
why are they
million
so
of
good?
those. I don't know.
You could eat a million bananas.
Million bananas on some Donkey Kong.
Have you ever had,
Soaking
have you ever
Cheetos.
had Trader Joe's dried banana?
No.
They basically cut up like 3 or 4 bananas. They dry them, and it comes in like basically a sheet, and you just rip off parts of the banana and eat it, and like you can fold it up.
Is it
and
like
stuff
fruit
it up.
roll-up?
It's like a
Sounds
fruit
like
roll up, but like a healthy
string
fruit
cheese.
roll
Yeah,
up.
sure, of course.
I'm down with that.
It's more fruit roll up,
I'm
less
down
string
with the
cheese.
work.
Have you ever eaten a banana and chugged a Coke?
No.
Do that next time.
That sounds like a Tim Gettys thing, though.
Good. We should do that on camera.
Is that
Why?
going to explode in his mouth?
A kid told me in grade school that would make you throw up. I never tested it. But he said it in front of the class. So
I told you this literally in 1992. And
There's no way.
You've been carrying
I
around.
don't
for
want to
22
test it.
years.
I don't want to vomit. I don't.
Yeah, I don't believe
FYI, I
that.
think just chugging the Coke will make you throw up.
No.
I don't think it has anything to do with a banana.
No, that's not true.
No, but bananas are the best fruit. Come at me, bro.
Blowing up here.
But I just feel like I have no strong stance on fruit. I eat it when it's put in front of me, whatever. But we all know broccoli, my fourth favorite food. Period. That's how much I like broccoli. It's cracked the top 5 of foods, beating out sushi. That's a vegetable I could just sit there and eat. I like the texture of it. I like the taste of it. Don't cook it. I don't want it limp and gross. Don't put the cheese sauce on it.
doing this
Don't do
wrong.
anything. No, I'm doing it right. If you want to put it in some garlic, you saute it
How
or
do you feel
whatever.
about broccoli rabe?
I still love it.
Me too. I've been eating a lot of broccoli rabe the last
Yeah,
few
it's
months.
good for you.
Yeah.
Wait, broccoli Rob?
Yeah.
Rob.
It's like a leafy. It's like I don't know
It's like
exactly.
the broccoli top is
Yeah.
there, kind of.
Yeah, but it's like
longer
leaves
pieces.
and stuff like that. And you boil them, and then I put them in oil.
It
and
looks
with
like
garlic and
if broccoli and asparagus had a kid.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
cool.
Good. It's going.
it's really tasty. It's supposed to be very
It's
good.
really good.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
When cooked correctly, when cooked incorrectly, it's the worst.
You
thing
gotta
on the
boil it
planet.
first.
You got to boil that because it's got a super bitterness to it, like an earthiness to it, that most broccoli doesn't have.
To me, vegetables are just conduits for sauce. That's it.
See, that's
See,
a
I
disrespecting
like
the
corn.
vegetable.
I
You're
do like
disrespecting
corn.
the vegetable.
Corn's good.
You like
Corn is good.
corn is good. It's
Corn
the
on the
worst.
cob's
it's like
okay.
the worst thing. For
Corn on
me.
the cob is okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the frozen corn.
Oh, the only way I eat corn is on the cob.
No.
If it's detached into this frozen concoction,
Really?
disgusting.
Ooh.
If I take it out of the can and it's got that smelly, gross fucking water on it,
Oh, I don't like
and it's
that.
all no,
that's,
thank
that's
you.
bad. I'm not talking about the can.
Smelly gross water.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It smells like corn.
I'm talking about the
It's just
corn
water.
that you put in the freezer in the bag.
You're talking about like that.
Yeah, again, the niblets are still.
Yes.
You're looking at the, ugh.
But that,
do
no,
you-
that's different than the can one though. The
Yeah.
can one has that nasty water. Like it has a different taste.
Yeah, but corn.
good.
I mean, just no
But
vegetables
then some
cooked are
mashed
gross.
potatoes. Are potatoes vegetables?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes? Does that count as vegetables?
No, I,
I
think
mean,
once
it
you
is,
mash
but there's so
something,
much
it's not
butter,
really a
Yeah,
vegetable.
milk.
Now, if you
Mashed
I
Mashed
know that
potatoes
sounds like a
and
dumb
cat-
question, but mashed potatoes is.
It was a dumb question when you said are potatoes vegetables.
I know.
That was one of the dumb
well,
questions.
that's what I was
no,
going
because
to the
every once in a
mashed.
while they
though.
throw you for a loop. Like, quick, top of your heads, what's avocado?
What's a vegetable?
That's a fruit.
It's a fruit.
Oh, it said fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't give a fuck about those rules. That is a goddamn vegetable.
What's a tomato?
sandwich.
Tomato is a goddamn vegetable.
I mean,
Like-
technically, a cucumber's even a fruit.
No,
Yeah, they're all fruit.
bullshit.
Tomatoes are fruit.
If I didn't know I could get away with that, then I'm gonna say yeah, cucumber's my favorite fruit. If I can do that.
I don't think you
Don't-
can get away with that.
see
Can I
how
be- can I be
dumb
cheap
that
on it?
sounds?
But what's the definition of fruit versus the definition of vegetable?
Isn't it fruit with seeds?
Seeds, yeah, I think anything has a seed.
Yeah,
it's a
whatever.
fruit.
That's so dumb.
That's why the pit.
Those aren't the real definitions, though.
I'm a huge fan lately. Been on a huge kick of two things. One is the pink lady apple, which not just any apple, but the pink lady apple is amazing.
That sounds so
Now
specific.
I was all up on them until they kind of disappeared for a while. Then they came back to our local grocery store by IGN, and I ate one that one time with you, and it made me sick. So I've been off apples for a while.
Let me reenact
The apple
this.
made you sick.
Let me reenact this for you.
I-
We're in the elevator. Nick has this apple. I'm like, "What, are you just eating? He's like, yes. And he just bites it. He's like, I think this is rotten. Bites again. What are you doing?
Continued to eat the apple until we got to the corner of Second and Townsend, I think. And then I was like, I can't eat this anymore. It's actually physically making my stomach churn. And I threw it out. And for like a week and a half since then, my stomach has been messed up. But I still love them. When they come back next season, I'm going to eat the hell out of them.
Because you ate it wrong.
Probably. The second thing I've been on a huge kick for is arugula. I don't know where this came. This came out of
Arugula?
nowhere. This leafy green is the best thing on the planet because you put a little bit of olive oil and some sea salt on it. Boom, you got a meal. You got a whole meal right there. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do anything to it. I buy these huge bags from Trader Joe's. That's where I go. Also a huge fan of, give up big ups to the Brussels sprout.
Yeah, you
Yes,
ate some
yes,
tonight.
yes.
Had some of that tonight, which is why when you brought that up, I was like, got to make sure I shout out the Brussels sprout.
I don't understand. Like growing up, it was not this was not in the Miller household as a dish that was cooked. You know what I mean? And not because I think anybody hated it. It just wasn't a veggie my mom was cooking. And so you watch TV and everybody hates Brussels sprouts.
I don't want
and
my
this, that,
Brussels
yeah,
sprout.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like,
you
well,
will.
these sound terrible. And then you
people
eat
are
them.
whack.
And you're like, this is amazing. Salt and pepper on these bad boys.
Too much of them is too much, though.
Yeah.
I like maximum 3 Brussels sprouts.
Wow, that's not enough.
3
That's not enough.
Brussels
Yeah,
sprouts.
That's not
the
enough.
4th one, too much.
How many vegetables do you think you eat?
Not much.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen you eat a vegetable.
No, there was
don't
like
like
one day where he said leading up to something like E3 he was gonna eat like you, and he kept it together for 2 days, and he ate
Like
salads.
2 weeks. I did like 2 weeks.
Consider this. This is a good way to cook a Brussels sprout. You take the Brussels sprouts and you take about a pound of them. And you
Yeah.
cut them in half, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to cut them out.
You put them in.
You don't have
You put them in olive oil with a lot of salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
You cut up a little bit of garlic. Put the garlic in. You get the heat going. You take an apple.
This is
You
sexy.
cut and dice the apple. You
Okay.
put the apple in.
All right.
You take some bacon.
Can it
Here's
be
my
a-
only problem.
You,
Can it be a
you
pink
cut
lady
the
apple?
bacon up. You put the bacon in it.
You keep saying you put them in. Where you toss them in a bowl? You put them in
No,
a
no,
pan?
you're putting
you
them in
put
a
them
pan. You're putting them in a pan. You're
saucepanning,
sauteing
or you putting
yeah,
them in? Okay.
Yeah. That's fine. That's totally fine. You can do it in a wok if you want to. I mean, that's a little superfluous. And you just cook it up. You just cook it up. The bacon's going. The bacon, the apple's rendering a little bit. Like everything's really good. I'm telling you, it's fucking, dude.
This sounds amazing.
Apple and Brussels sprout go so well together. Cheryl and I were shocked. Like we saw. I think I actually copied it off of someone on Top Chef, or not Top Chef, Master Chef. And I was like, this is awesome. So that's a good one. Brussels sprouts are really special. Asparagus, really special.
Yeah.
I like asparagus.
Are you letting now? Let's go back to the Brussels sprout for a second because I keep this in my memory. Are you letting the Brussels sprouts caramelize a little
Yes,
bit?
you have to.
You get a little
It's till the
brown, a little
leaves.
crunchy.
Yeah, exactly. Till the leaves
Yeah.
almost start to
That's the
fray.
jam. That's the jam right there.
You got to let an undercooked Brussels sprout is not as good as an overcooked Brussels sprout. I'd rather have the Brussels sprout browned
Oh,
and
me
even a
too.
little burnt.
Yeah, I want them crispy.
Yeah.
I want them nice and charred. Yeah.
See, I have a horror story with the Brussels sprouts because one time, I'm assuming it was on my 4th one because that's when it all went downhill. There was bugs in my Brussels sprout.
Oh, that's gross.
I bit into it. I'm like, the fuck? And then there was a bug in my mouth. And I think that just turned me off to
That'll do
Wow.
it.
too many Brussels sprouts.
Nothing you really do about it because you can't really clean them very effectively because
No.
the leaves are so tight when they're not cooked.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like
Yeah, man.
risking it.
Scarred me.
Yeah, I understand.
Well,
That's
how
the way I feel
does
about the Hot
bugs
Pocket.
survive in there?
What's up?
How'd the
I
bugs
don't
survive
know.
in there?
I don't know.
Well, you find bugs in like fruit and stuff every once in a while.
It's good protein.
But was it alive?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
The bugs survive in a 450-degree oven? Brown up in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Surviving the bacon saute?
might have
Oh, I
steamed
didn't
it.
think about that.
I think you were
Yeah,
eating
it might
raw
have been
Brussels
steamed. It might
sprouts.
have
They
been
might have just
steamed.
been
I think it was
steamed. You
steamed.
just warmed them up in some, hot water.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Sorry, were you gonna go?
Yeah, I did.
Go
I
for it.
was. No,
Go
it's
for
fine. Go and give me your stupid
Get it in
vegetable.
there.
You only given 7. Doesn't matter.
I gave 2.
Acorn squash. I want to toss that acorn squash. So good.
It's a gourd.
What the fuck's a gourd?
Like a
Does that
pumpkin.
not fall into either of the things? It's not a fruit or a vegetable?
I would consider it a vegetable, but gourds have seeds.
Oh, so going back to the definition, now who looks dumb?
Let's look it up.
Gourd is a plant of the family something I can't pronounce, or the fruit of 2 genera of cabbage.
Does that mean
I
pumpkin
think
is
a
fruit?
pumpkin is a
I
fruit,
think it is.
which is a little weird to me.
I agree with that. I pumpkin would be a fruit because it has seeds.
It's
Yes.
a vegetable.
But here's the thing: you can make a pie out of it. So
You can make
that
a
makes
you can make a
sense.
pie out of
Apple pie.
rhubarb.
That's true. Rhubarb pie is amazing if done well. Also, throwing it out there, didn't used to like these when I was a kid. Love them now. The sweet potato. The
Oh,
yam.
yeah.
Oh my
Good
god,
Lord.
yes.
Just
No?
No. Sweet potato, one of my least favorite things in the world.
What?
Yeah. We've talked about this before. Thanksgiving foods, I just can't deal with. That, the cranberry.
my wife's gonna hate you. if
Yeah,
she
sweet
hears
potatoes and cranberry are just like, I can't even think. It's like the mustard for Colin.
Really?
I just can't deal with it.
There's
Yeah, don't bring
something
that shit to
about
me. Don't
there's
bring that
something
shit to
about
me.
a good, like a really well made sweet potato, like mashed sweet potatoes, that is just the best thing on the planet to me.
worst thing.
It's so good. It's so good.
Speaking of these fruits, recently I saw a video that was like, hey, all these foods that you've eaten all your life, you're eating them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed this guy with a banana. And
Oh, yeah.
you're supposed to open it from the other end. So it's like you're not supposed to open a banana how you think you are. Like with the little like handle thingy. You use your nails for just pinch in for a bit, and it opens up super clean. Because you know how sometimes it's all weird and you're like, whatever.
Yeah, it's
I
strange.
saw
And
this,
he did
yeah.
it so easily. I was like, what? And another one is apples. You're supposed to eat it from the bottom to the top. Instead
eat
of
the
from
core. The
sides.
core is
You
a myth,
You
it
can
said.
eat through the core. Yeah, the core is not a real thing.
What about the seeds?
That's the part that I was like, wait, but what about the dumb thing at the top and the little butthole part? Like,
That's
but
great.
he
Eat
just
them.
ate straight
Take them
through
all,
it.
man.
He ate straight through it, though.
When I think what's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable, I obviously think of the Mayo Clinic. So here's their report on this. According to botanists, those who study plants, a fruit is the part of the plant that develops from a flower. It's also the section of the plant that contains the seeds. The other parts of plants are considered vegetables. These include the stems, leaves, and roots, and even the flower bud. The following are technically fruits: avocado, beans, pea pods, corn kernels, cucumbers, grains.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah, that makes
bread is your favorite
that.
fruit.
I mean, that makes sense though, right? Because it's the
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm with you.
The grass,
Nuts, olives, peppers.
olives, peppers.
Yeah, I think you missed one there. Mayo Clinic, you're screwing up. Everybody tweet the Mayo Clinic. Say you caught it here on GameOverGreggy.
Don't
pumpkin.
they're doing good work. Don't
squash,
tweet the Mayo Clinic.
sunflower seeds and tomatoes. Vegetables include celery, stem, lettuce, leaves, cauliflower and broccoli, buds, and beets, carrots, and potatoes, roots.
The beet.
The beet.
Now let
See,
me.
the beet I'd almost want to give a shout out as a fruit.
The beet's kind of fucked up.
I don't like the beet. I don't like
I
beets.
love the
I
beet.
love the beet.
Oh no.
No.
It's good.
Love
man.
the beet. It's good for your eyesight.
Now let me give you a shout. I'm gonna give a shout. This is the weird thing. I don't like many fruits. I agree with Tim. The unequivocal best fruit is the banana.
It is.
Quick aside about the banana. I used to be obsessed with Quaker Oats banana oatmeal, and I used to eat it constantly. And I used to eat it. Or I started eating it around the time I got Mega Man 6 on the NES.
There you
So
go.
I equate
Good memories.
oatmeal with Mega Man 6, specifically banana oatmeal. And when I smell that smell, I think of Blizzard Man and Nightman.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Mega Man 11? He's just fighting like food enemies, where it's like
That's great.
Banana Man,
Banana Man,
Oatmeal
Banana
Man.
Man.
banana phone.
Man, that
Dude,
shit.
dude, that dude.
But and I like the apple's fine. I love orange juice. I drink probably
Orange
I,
juice.
I
I
drink
was
probably a
gonna say
gallon
orange
and a half. or
You
2
drink
gallons
an
of orange.
unhealthy amount of orange
Yeah,
juice.
like I drink a lot of orange juice. And apples are fine, but like generally I'm not eating fruit. Like I don't like peaches, I don't like plums, I don't like pears, I don't like there's just too much. I don't like grapes, like whatever. I don't need that shit. Now,
like a dried apricot.
No.
yes. Vegetables. I like virtually every vegetable.
Interesting.
I think vegetables are really good. Now, the best vegetable, the most diverse vegetable, the most essential vegetable, the onion.
Oh, you're just doing it to make me mad.
No,
now.
I'm not. In fact,
The most
in
diverse-
fact, what picture did I send you guys when I was on Long Island? My dad's wheelbarrow with the OM on it
Oh,
for
yeah.
Onion Man. A story I told from the 70s when he was an iron worker before he became a fireman. Then I was mowing the lawn, so I put the lawnmower back. It was awesome to mow the lawn. By
Was
the way,
it
That's another
sentient?
story.
The lawnmower?
Was
No,
it
it wasn't
robotic?
sentient.
It wasn't.
It was.
robotic?
It's like a snapper lawnmower from like the 70s. It's metal, like it's so heavy. I don't know where the hell we got it. But I went and put it back, and it was a little OM. It reminded me of my own love of the onion. Special consolation prize to garlic.
Garlic. There's a good one. Onion sucks dick.
It's
Garlic,
so weird that you like one or
amazing.
not the other. They're like so intimately related.
Yeah,
to
but
each
the
other.
taste of one's really good, and the other just tastes like fucking shit.
You're insane.
You're
You're not
insane.
welcome.
The diversity of the onion, just to make everything worse.
But think about
Hey, this food's too perfect.
But-
I want to overpower it with this white bastard.
It's
you're-
overpowered.
I'll tell you.
You're-
So
you're
the other day
insane.
I go to this place called Taco, which is it's a place in my neighborhood that serves, rightly so, tacos, Mexican food and whatnot, Mexican fare as they say. And my wife goes, "Hey, if you're gonna go, get me the skinny guacamole." Now the skinny guacamole, which a lot of places serve, you don't know this though, is guacamole, but instead of chips, they give you a serving of vegetables that you can then dip in, and so you're not filling up on chips and you're actually filling up on something good. So I open up this thing of vegetables. In it is the cucumber, which I'm like, of
course.
gotta have that. Cool.
It's a fine fruit.
They have the carrot, which is another one of my favorites because if you need a crispness
carrots,
to it,
yeah.
What? You're carrot? Yeah. What are you
Carrots are okay. They're okay.
They're
This
good
proves
conduits.
you're off your
So
rocker
that-
on this vegetable story.
that basically constituted half of the package. The other half of the thing was the radish.
Oh, radishes are good.
I hate radishes.
Oh, you're fucked up.
I don't
Oh,
think
it's
I've ever
the
had a
wor- oh, it's the worst. It's,
It
it's
really
the
tastes
it's
like
a
anything
useless fruit. It tastes like nothing.
It's got
Or a
some
vegetable,
watery
it tastes
taste to it. I
nothing.
like that. Good
It's got a
texture.
bitterness
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's got a good texture.
You know, it's a weird color. I don't like it. Don't
Wait,
like
so
it.
wait, I gotta
trust
backtrack just a minute, just a
Yeah.
moment.
Take it back.
Beep. George. The carrot's fine, but I feel like the texture of the carrot when it's not cooked is a little fucked up.
No, it's great. It's crispy.
See, I like the little carrots, the baby carrots.
Aren't those like washed in bleach or some stuff though? There's some bad stuff going on.
They are very
I
watery,
like those.
Yeah.
but they are good. I agree with Tim on this. And my grandma, God rest her soul, used to make a carrot dish when I was a kid, where it was just carrots that were like sliced and like cooked, so they were a little mushy, and just put a bunch of sugar on them. Have you guys ever have you guys had this before?
No, but it sounds good.
And it was just like a thing you had at
Like
Thanksgiving.
carrot
whatever.
cake, but like in a different form.
Yeah, it's just just like a casserole dish, just carrots and sugar, like mixed up, and it was
I've
like
had that with yams.
yeah,
Where they
a
do
very
it
similar
like they
thing.
do like a yam,
But in my mind's eye, I think about the vegetable aisle, and I'm looking left and I'm looking right, and I'm seeing a bunch of things that I like. I like the lettuce and all
Butter
of the
lettuce?
leafy.
Get some butter lettuce?
I love butter lettuce. I love the mixed green that you can buy. It has some arugula in it.
yeah.
I love peppers. All peppers are very special. The bell pepper.
I see. I can't just eat a pepper though. Like whenever you get the hummus dip and they give you the peppers, I'm like, eh. Now if you're gonna saute
Wait, when they
the
give
pepper,
you what
you-
peppers they give in the hummus?
well,
dish?
they'll use. Sometimes you'll get
pepper,
like,
the pepperoncinis?
you can get no, actual like bell peppers. Like they'll cut
I've
them
never
up,
seen that before.
and you can dip it. Yeah,
Okay.
every once in a while. It's not
With
a huge
hummus?
thing.
Yeah, or any
All
sort
my
of dip.
hummus spots aren't doing that.
I mean, I love the pepper. Like the pepper's a really special
See,
fruit.
I love the pepper if you're gonna saute that with some sausage
I
and
hate
some
this
onions.
Goddamn vegetable.
You know what I mean? Like you can
peppers
do
and onions
sausage,
are- oh my God.
sausage and peppers,
Pepper
peppers
stick?
and onions. Oh god, give me a break.
I mean,
Just killing that all day long.
I think about anything like mushrooms. Not technically a fruit or a vegetable; they're fungus.
Those are fun. Those are
Very,
fun,
very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
The celery is very good. You dip it in peanut butter.
Yeah.
Where do you come down on the sprout?
I like sprouts, but like
In
because
a
I feel
sandwich?
how.
Can you put a sprout in a sandwich?
Yeah, I could do it. I like them in salad too, but I feel like I feel very healthy when it's like when you eat a really deep green that you probably don't really want to eat, like kale.
Kale's
Because you know
good.
it's so,
Kale's
but you know
good.
it's so good for you though.
it's great.
Kale is like
Sure,
the deep
sure.
fucking. That's like a deep cut on the fucking album of health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're getting the kale.
You're adding years to your life with the kale.
Yeah.
Not
that's
taking
what
them
I hear.
away.
I like spinach.
Spinach is
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I love spinach.
I like to saute some spinach in my omelet in the morning. Done.
Oh, nice.
Take it home. Funny story about the sprout. Why I bring this up. In high school, I was dating a girl who used to make herself for lunch. She'd make herself a sprout sandwich. It was like just basically bread. I think it was just butter, sprouts, and like a Munson cheese. Oh no! It was weird, but it tasted really good.
No.
And the first time she was like, "Do you want half of this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It looks terrible, but I'll have it." Got half of it, and from that point on, it was like that episode of Seinfeld where he's trying to get the back rub from the masseuse. Every lunch, I was like, "Did you make one of those sprout sandwiches?" And she's like, "No, you didn't ask me to." And I was like, "I need it. I need you to make me these." And then she brought
What was
it
in it? It was sprouts and what?
It was like sprouts, cucumbers, and
Butter.
like butter, I think, and went on like a healthy bread. One of the breads that you're like,
Wait,
I
why
would
are you
not
putting
eat this.
butter on the sandwich? That doesn't. I mean, if you're
Could
gonna.
it be mayo?
It might have been. I can't remember specifically, but I know it had sprouts in it. And I was like,
You
"This
must
is
be so
amazing."
I really want a healthy sandwich. I want to put all this butter on
I'm
it.
watching Glaze.
She was really, really skinny.
Yeah, I don't fuck with sprouts
Cute.
without the Brussels.
Oh, damn. That's a good
stance.
point. That's a good point. That's a good stance. I mean, I just, I'm hard pressed to think of a vegetable.
Fuck with sprouts without the Brussels.
Like
That's
I
a good T-shirt right there.
Fruits are just so unaccommodating. Like the star fruit. What am I gonna do with that? Fucking
What's
star
a
fruit.
Star fruit? Is that from Land Before Time?
No, it's not. It's a real thing. A star fruit's a real thing.
I'll show you.
And it looks like it doesn't look like a star, but it looks like a star when you cut it. It looks like a perfect star.
What about this? I'm gonna throw this out at you.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Watermelon.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What?
No.
Yes. That's
No.
a yes.
No.
Cantaloupe.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
no.
Honeydew.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
Aren't
do
they
it.
the same thing?
Now we missed one, which is unequivocally the best fruit. I think when I say this, you guys are gonna think, "Oh, we're stupid. We should have put this out there." The strawberry.
No, I was like, if he
I
says
thought
strawberry, I'm
about
gonna be
it.
pissed.
Star fruit.
It does look like a strawberry.
Strawberries are only good with bananas.
What are you
Star
out of your
fruit.
mind? The strawberry
really?
is the best fruit.
No.
Star fruit.
No, I don't
kind
like.
of-
I'm not feeling berries. I can do the raspberry.
Oh, the
Yeah,
raspberry's the worst.
now
No,
we're talking.
It's too bitter.
I love
Too bitter.
raspberry yogurt.
I can do
Yeah.
raspberry.
Raspberry yogurt's good, but blueberry yogurt's better.
If you've got a couple strawberries with it, absolutely.
No.
You gotta have the strawberry. The strawberry is a standalone by itself and great in a mix.
You
It's
can't have too
perfect.
many though. I mean, like that's another thing.
It's like
you
me
can
at a
only have
party.
couple. I don't like that. I want to be able to eat as many bananas as I want.
You can't eat that many bananas. Too much potassium for you.
Oh, it's a lot of potassium. It's a
I
ton
like
of potassium.
Remember Honey, We
Good
Shrunk
for muscles.
Ourselves?
Yeah.
The third movie in the series?
Nope.
Straight to DVD.
Yeah, he needed potassium. They had to feed him a banana.
Glay. That's it.
All right. My topic. I want to know what horrifying thing has stuck with you to this day? Now, I'm not saying something. It could be something you've seen, could be something you've read, could be something you've dreamed. The last two are where I'm coming from. For horrifying thing that stuck with me. Went to school with this girl named Christy. Last name Bourgeois. I don't know if she writes.
She's
things.
bourgeois.
No, her last name was Bourgeois.
Christy Bourgeois.
And she wrote stories. And I remember she wrote this one that we put in the school paper, so I had to I don't not edit it, but I think at the time I had actually rewrite it or put it in. I forget, some horrible situation. But the story involved this guy dying or whatever, and one of the things was that there was glass in his windpipe. Oh. That he had clearly, in the fight or whatever, had inhaled a piece of glass, and it was and that was and I thought how horrible that would be, and that made me this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about horrifying things that make tense up, and I remember reading this story and getting that part, and it's you know what I mean, so intense.
Every noise.
Ooh, it's not what I want right there, you know what I mean? Not what I'm feeling in terms of a Christy Bourgeois story when I'm reading one of these things. So that was a problem right there. That one. The other one, stick with me because this one is making my toes curl right now thinking about it. Had a dream where, you might remember a commercial similar to this with some fucking foot fungus, but basically I could lift up my toenail, and then there was all these strings, I don't know if they were skin or what, attached to then back. Oh, it was gross. But you lift it up like a door, you know what I mean? And then they did do a commercial where these fungus men were underneath there. It was I don't know which came first. Yeah. If it was literally my fucking nightmare come to life on TV or not. But you just pick, I can still see it. It still makes, it's so gross. I can't deal with that.
That reminds me of, there are some indelible images that just stick with you forever in TV and film. One of which was the flaying in Game of Thrones when they're torturing Theon. That's it. Theo Huxtable. Why are they torturing him? He's Dad,
tell us where the sweaters are.
You know, when they start flaying the skin, because the house that flays their enemies or whatever it is, and they start peeling the skin off of his fingers. That's gonna stick with me for a long time, I think.
It was messed up when Bill Cosby did that to Theo too.
Why would Bill do it?
When he missed his curfew.
He lied to his mom. Yeah, he was lying to his mom.
Theo, I gotta cut your skin off.
I was gonna say that was one of the worst Cosby's I've ever heard. You brought it back.
Can I try it again?
Yeah.
Fine, Theo. You gotta come over here.
Your walking's not bad.
You're late. Yeah. Why you late?
So mine's a little weird.
I couldn't give it going. I'm sorry.
The show Hey Arnold is a Nicktoon. There's an episode where he gets bullied and then he learns karate from his grandma, and he goes out in the street and he's in the alley. And then some guy comes up to him from the alley, and he beats the shit out of him. And then it's made to look like he was a bully, and Arnold beat him up.
Yeah.
And then the camera turns, and it's you see that this guy's just this innocent kid, and he was I was just gonna ask you when the bus was coming, and it was just some sweet little dude, and Arnold just beat the shit out of him.
Damn.
And for some reason that really stuck with me of man, that was really fucked up. I would have hated to be that guy, and that sucks that people would be so mean to someone randomly like that. And I don't know why that affected me so much because it's so stupid. But I thought about that long and hard. I was just people need to be nicer to people.
But I'm sorry, why did Hey Arnold beat up the random kid? I know you said
it was in the darkness.
And he thought it was some other kid?
Scared.
He thought it was
trying
a
to defend
mugger.
himself.
Yeah.
That guy kind of had
He
it
made a
coming.
mistake.
Yeah, it was weird.
Back
I don't
the
know
fuck
why. I
off.
don't know why.
Even Hey Arnold can make
I took
mistakes.
it to a way deeper place though. For some reason, I don't know why, but it affected me where I was just that guy was just a sweet dude. And he got the shit beat out of him, and that sucks. Bad things happen to good people. I think that's the message there.
That's
and that it horrified me.
Really? Because I thought it would have gone the other way, which is the story that we are, the allegory of the Karate Kid, which is a very, very ancient story.
Yes.
Where a young Daniel-san learns from Mr. Miyagi that karate is only for self-defense.
Yes.
Never to attack anyone. It's never to use in vengeance. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Hey Arnold jumped the gun on this a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't.
Karate.
Did not. Karate. It sounds like Hey Arnold didn't get that lesson and decided to just randomly.
It was a preemptive strike.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like when Kevin and I talk. I wish Kevin were here right now, but we talk about this all the time.
May God rest his soul.
We used to when I used to try to do jujitsu or judo, right? Or my brother will tell this story all the time. I used to take kempo, and we used to have these arm holds, and you'd train them all day and think you mastered it, and then you immediately go home to your brother and be like, "Check this out, give me your hand." Because my brother always jokes about this, and then you'd proceed to break the person's hand by accident. You're like, I don't know what I was doing. With great power, Tim.
You broke your brother's hand?
No, he has a big hand. There's no way I'm breaking that thing. ham steak.
Hand steak.
With great power comes great
Yeah.
responsibility, Tim.
Mm-hmm. That's a good message
Batman.
too. Yes, Batman. Yeah. Clark Kent.
So let me hit you.
Kent.
Let me hit you guys with a few things.
Hold on, before you do that, because I know you're gonna go to a serious place. All I put in was toenail commercial, and
I used to hate these.
I immediately got the guy lifting up the toenail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's not
can't
good.
do
I
that.
don't like that. No, I don't like that. One of the earliest images that ever stuck with me forever was Large Marge from.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my
we
God.
spoke about
Yeah.
that before, and that came to mind for this
Yeah.
too.
Also, in The Exorcist, the frames of the demon that they show,
Oh,
like the
yeah,
one
yeah,
frame
yeah.
things, when I was a really little kid, used to scare the shit out of me. And then, as a child too, when we told the story before, the Tickly Monster really stuck with me quite a bit. This was, of course, an imagination of my own mind, a recurring dream I had in which a man would come to my crib and tickle me until I couldn't take it anymore. I think it was a dream.
But
But also, the guy getting buried alive in Days of Our Lives when I was a kid, watching that with my mom. That's why I want to get cremated to this day. That happened literally
that's the
25 years ago.
worst. What there was a movie I think with Jeff Bridges and Kiefer Sutherland. I can't remember what it was called, but basically, Kiefer Sutherland's like his wife disappears, and he tracks it all the way back to I think Jeff Bridges, who he's like, "I know you took my wife. Just tell me what you did with her. Tell me what you did with her." And he goes, "If you want to know what I did with her, you have to drink this thing or whatever it was." So he's like, finally gets to his wit's end, drinks the thing, winds up in a coffin, buried alive.
My God.
It's the war.
Did
Being
he get
buried
out?
alive. I think someone saves him at the end.
His wife?
No, I think it's the girl that he's like was teamed up with. It's like the new romance, or whatever. It's
Gotcha.
kind of a messed up story. Not great.
Not recommended, but
No, but the concept of being buried alive just sounds horrible. Horrible. I had one other one. Oh, back in the day when there was a series Nightmare on Elm Street. Did you ever see those? I think it was Freddy 3, and there was this scene where a girl was she was a meth addict or a heroin addict, and Freddy like put his his claws became like syringes and put them into her arms and then like squeeze and like all this meth kind of came out of it. It was the worst. Then I think there was also a scene where, because I think maybe it was the Puppet Master, maybe it was like number 4, where he rips the veins out of someone and like makes him a puppet.
Yeah, no, that
was
thank you.
that's
remember
on my
that
list
one?
too. Veins, anything with veins,
veins.
and eyes. I think a lot of people get fucked up with like eye things. To me, veins are like even worse, where it's just like the thought of shots horrifies me. I can get shots, I don't even care. But if I think about it,
You're passing out.
God, that fucks with me. So yeah, the Puppet Master shit.
did you ever play Dead Space 2?
No, not. I played Dead Space 1.
I did.
There's a part you play all the way through. At the
Couldn't
very
get there. It was a
end,
long
spoilers for Dead Space 2, you have to lay the guy down Isaac and put a needle into his eye. And that was one of those things of me just squirming like crazy in that
good
chair,
lord.
like looking way.
Oh, we talked about Fire in the Sky.
That's what I was thinking of, because they do some fucked up shit. To
They
people
do
in that
some
movie too.
messed up stuff. And
That's like the movie. That's like the
needle in
official
eye.
movie of this podcast.
Oh, it is.
Fire in the Sky.
We should do a viewing party of
that and Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
Let's
Pirates of
not
Silicon Valley. Let's not discount
disrespect.
it. Fire in the Sky. I haven't seen Fire in the Sky in a long time. We should watch it
We
together.
should. We should do that.
Just to see if it's still as
It's probably still terrifying.
I was completely terrified of that movie.
I was terrified of that film. I told you the story. I watched it upstairs in my parents' room. They had a VHS player up there. I watched it. My mom had no idea what I was watching. I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. I swore.
I've never seen it. It's too scary for me.
Titanic, the movie. There's parts of that like really stuck with me for some reason. Like
When everyone was like frozen in the water.
Fabricio, Jack's best
Yeah,
friend. One of the like tutors on the ship. What are they called? The big pipes.
Oh,
The smokestacks?
there you go.
Yeah, smokestacks.
Yeah.
It
Tutors. Oh, I see. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
the person who teaches you?
No, it
I was like, yeah.
I
I know there was a
gonna
show,
go for
The Tutors.
The family that used to run France.
but when it like
England,
falls
thank
and
you.
kills him.
Yeah.
For some
Didn't watch
reason,
that
his
show.
dying scream stayed with me, and it really bothered me.
A bit of aside from what we're talking about here, when Jack and Rose have sex in the car, do you think he uses a condom?
No.
No, God, no. No one used condoms back then.
I don't know. I was
Yeah,
always
take them out of like the little tins.
Some people did. They like had like sheepskin condoms that they would use like over and over again.
Well, that's just smart. Let's just save money.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I read that.
Leo
in
D
the book.
doesn't do that.
Wasn't one of the first people to do that Cleopatra?
Maybe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think they talk about that a little bit, where she because she was
Smart.
so powerful. If she had a son, he would usurp her. He would become the king, and so she never wanted to have a child, so she could stay in power, and so she practiced that.
She
would-
still wanted that nookie.
well, she wanted that Mark Antony. A little bit. It's fine. It's Mark. Come over. It's my friend's house. Cleo.
Cleo.
It's Mark, Cleo.
Remember Miss Cleo? Whatever.
That was one of the horrifying ones too. Yeah.
You couldn't get away from Miss
Dude,
Cleo.
I miss that. Miss Cleo was awesome. She was balling out.
Yeah.
She didn't give a fuck.
She had a big movement for a while.
She did, yeah, she was literally balling out, literally.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
No.
I got a story from when I was a kid. This is a
Lay it
real
on
story.
me.
I think I told.
Please tell me Miss Cleo came over.
No, that would have been
Weird.
awkward.
That would have been weird.
And we're like,
Are they friends?
how did
What?
you know?
Miss Cleo has friends.
The Scarpinos
Divine
are her
me
friends?
this. So when I was a kid, I used to hang out with my, you got a bigger brother growing up. You always want to hang out with the bigger brother, right? The bigger brother's friends are always doing something way cooler. I remember in my friends, in their backyard, they built like a dirt bike.
Yeah.
My brother's friends. So I used
Track
to go over
or
there.
they
Like
built a dirt bike.
a track, sorry.
Okay.
Either
was acceptable. I didn't know. I was just making
That
sure.
would have been cool too. No, they built like a track in their backyard for bikes. And we used to go back there, and I was like, I don't know, there's something weird about these kids. Well, one day they found a lizard that was on their garage door, and these psychopathic kids that their lives ended up going kind of crazy anyway, and no surprise, decided to torture this thing by like kind of playing with it with a BB gun, and then eventually holding a BB gun to its head and pulling the trigger. And I didn't think they were going to do it. So seeing the image of this thing that had just been alive and is now writhing in its
Agony.
final death throes on the ground, like spattering around, blood everywhere, and it's a lizard, so it's not like it's going to do anything. Lizards are harmless, they're everywhere where I used to grow up. To this day, I don't like killing things because of that. If I find even a fly in my house, I will try to get it out of the house. Like last resort is killing something. With the exception of if I see a spider near my
spiders can get
bed
it.
or near my toilet, that thing's dying. But even like a moth, like a ladybug flew into my house the other day, and my wife's like, just kill it. And I'm like, I'm not going to kill it, but I also don't like touching bugs, so you need to come over here and take this thing. And she just grabs it.
And your
threw it
wife
outside.
came over with the BB gun. You're like, no!
Canoed that thing's head off. Yeah, that stuck with me. That was one of those things where I was like, that was the first time I had seen, for no reason, someone just kill something for sheer pleasure, which I was like, this is disturbing, and I couldn't hang out with those kids anymore. From that point on, I was like, I don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah, I had a similar thing growing up of a kid. They found a toad. And these kids that were in the neighborhood, and they hit it with a wiffle ball bat, like tossed it. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Never
can't
hang
do
out
that.
with you guys again. You're psychos.
That's really weird.
True
Torturing
story.
animals is how
That
serial
kid,
killers start.
Barack Obama.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Nah, I'm just
When
kidding.
I
So
was
I
a
have
kid in
a
Hawaii growing up.
Super fucked up story.
Okay.
And like this is really the thing that like more so than any of this shit like fucked me up. But one of my little brother's best friends, I was at their house. Like my little brother and my friends, we all used to be friends together. Like his group of friends, my
Sure.
group of friends, we'd all hang out.
Super group of friends.
Yes.
Super friends.
Yeah, and so it was great, and we'd all do this stuff. We're at
friends.
my little brother's best friend's house at one point, and his little brother hung himself
Oh.
upstairs.
Like,
We were at the house.
no.
And this kid killed himself.
No.
Yeah.
How old was the kid? Ballpark.
Damn, it was like it's weird the whole blocking things out of your memory. This is something that like I totally blocked out of my memory. I didn't even really think about it for so long until right now. But I
Wait,
must have been.
You haven't thought of this memory since then?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but like it stuck with me in
Okay.
different ways.
I'm
Therapy
so
session right
stay
now.
Yeah,
with
no,
me
no, no.
again. I'm sorry.
I was like 12.
It's good.
Okay, so and they
So
were
my
younger
brother was
than you.
10,
Okay.
9 or 10.
Okay.
So they're
So that's the age difference because it's
Well,
the
no, no,
brother's
sorry.
friend.
it was my little brother's friend's little brother. So the kid was like 7 or 8.
Jeez, how do you even know how to hang
I don't
yourself?
know, but he did. Like it was a purposeful. He hung himself. Like it wasn't an accident or anything. It was
Damn.
just him up there.
That's horrible.
When you were
Yeah.
there when they found it and everything?
I was there when all the shit was going down. I remember being so confused. Like none of us knew what was going on, and like his mom just was like fucking freaking the fuck
Of course.
out. And I remember she yelled at us. Like she was so mad. Like or I don't even know if mad. She was just so crazy.
Yeah.
That like she was just swearing at us, and we're like, what the fuck is happening? And yeah, it was a weird thing. And so many cops came and like all this shit. And it was just crazy. And then none of us knew, like, that was like one of the first touches of death that have ever come near any of us. And we were just like, what the fuck's happening? This isn't real. And like, we didn't, even when they told us, it was like, there's no way that just happened. What's that even mean? I don't know.
That's
It was
crazy.
crazy.
That
It
is
was
fucking crazy.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. It's it's
that
a weird, fascinating story.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And it's,
So you're downstairs playing and then you hear mom screaming?
I don't remember the exact,
Sure.
I actually I just remember playing games and stuff and then cops coming. Like I don't remember the mom reacting until after the cops were there.
Yeah.
it all happened like it really did just happen so fast. Where it was just like we were just playing video games, and all of a sudden it was just like chaos everywhere. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Let's move on. Let's talk about something.
Nick, hit me with
another one.
Hit me with a little walking note to wrap everything up.
Tim, it's gonna be fine.
It is fine. Everything's fine.
It was a good episode. It's okay.
Show's not done yet.
Yeah, we
I
still have
love
one more
that.
topic.
You really do it well. Just the mannerism
Yeah, you
of
do.
him as
You
well.
do.
The delivery is perfect.
I just watched for no reason the other night Stand Up Guys with Christopher Walken and Al Pacino where they play aging mobsters. Not a good film.
You don't think
Do
that
you
was a good
remember any of his lines?
No, but Walken was really good in it, which is why I was surprised. It kind of reinvigorated. And then I just watched Annie Hall, and Walken plays the
Wait,
brother.
what did
in
it
Annie Hall.
reinvigorate?
My love of Walken.
Oh, okay.
Not that it ever really
I
went
thought
away.
your need to.
But here's the thing. Christopher Walken has become sort of a caricature of himself over the years.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Yeah,
So he did some fantastic movies in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Then hit, I think, I don't know why, right on the Pulp Fiction time when he was the guy, when he has that great monologue where he's like, my father's watch, he wore it up his ass, and now I'm giving it to you, young Butch, right? Like he has this great monologue, and that made him that started the spiral, I think, of crazy Christopher Walken. But every once in a while, you'll see him in something where he actually tries to act, and he is fantastic. And there are moments in this movie where he actually has some really nice scenes with one of the actresses who ends up, I mean, I'm not spoiling it, no one's ever going to watch this movie, but he goes to the same diner every week to see this girl that's working there, and it turns out that she's his granddaughter that he's been estranged from because he was a mobster, and like his wife and daughter never wanted to have anything to do with him. Mm-hmm. So he has this great moment with her at the end, and you're like, wow, Walken's really good. But
Does he confess to her?
Yeah, I mean, he tells her eventually that, hey, I'm your grandfather, and I left you some money.
How does he say it though?
It's me, your grandfather. Here's some money. Go have fun.
Oh my God, Tim!
Yes.
What's your topic?
So my topic today.
Oh shit, we have Tim's topics.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. We can get this through this one.
No worries,
As
bro.
long as it takes.
No worries,
Take it, bro. Take it, bro.
That's the mantra. As long as it takes.
Podcasting. Or podcasts.
As hard as it gets.
What are you guys' thoughts on it? Are there any that you listen to? What are your thoughts on just the idea of podcasting? Is it crazy to you that there's people that would listen to people talk? Is it crazy to you that you listen to people talk?
I've heard it's having a resurgence, and I'm not saying that just because we started doing this show, but I've read a couple articles saying that podcasting, everyone thought it was going away for a while, and now it's coming back.
Who thought it was going away?
Well, I think it was going away for a while because like the YouTube
Online video,
yeah,
YouTube
video
was
became
happening.
a thing. So podcasts did die down for a bit, and then now they are going up. There's like so many more just statistically.
Sure.
So and they're doing better than they have ever.
I never listened to podcasts until we started doing this show, largely because I was like, okay, we're part of this podcast community now. I should branch out and start. And then when you start going down that rabbit hole, it's the problem with podcasts is they're a huge time suck. And if you find a good one, unless you're in LA or you're driving or you're taking mass transit, like my commute to work's 20 minutes, so it takes me a week to listen to a whole podcast if it's as long as ours is. But I going down that, I'm like, okay, I'll look up people that I know and see. So Kevin Smith, obviously, is one of the people that I always listen to. He does Smodcast. He does Fat Man on Batman.
Fat Man on Batman's really good.
He does Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. These are, him and Scott Mosier are hilarious. It takes a little getting used to, like everything, because you're basically like, it's an intimate thing when you're sitting there listening to two people that are talking in their living room or talking in their home studio. But once you get into that world, it's crazy how well you can connect with people. So started listening to him. Started listening to Rhett and Link's podcast, Ear Biscuits, which is amazing.
That's one of mine. That is just awesome.
Those guys are so good at what they do. It's not like our podcast where we sit here and talk about complete and total nonsensical stuff and have a great time about it. They interview people. It's an interview podcast. Mm-hmm. So they do this great thing. It's very much like NPR. Well, they'll set up who the person is first. Then you'll go into the interview, and then they'll have like segment breaks where they'll talk about the next. Very, very well structured. Those guys are pros.
Yeah, they're great.
And the only other podcast that I listen to, aside from The Business, which is NPR, which is really, really good. If you guys haven't listened to it, I think it's only 30 minutes, but it's a hardcore look at the film and TV business. And they go super in depth as to like who's trying to buy DreamWorks and who's taking over for as the chairman or president of Fox and all this stuff. So it's really cool to hear that, get that exposure. But no shadow of a doubt, the craziest podcast I listen to is the American Cinematographer podcast. They don't do it all that often. this is something Sean Finnegan turned me on to. He was like, you got to listen to this podcast. It's amazing. It's once a month, and they talk to random cinematographers or director of photography from throughout the years. It's not even just modern stuff. The best of which I think was, I forget his name, but he was the cinematographer for RoboCop. And so they talk to him now about that movie and how they had to make that movie in the 80s and how they had to make this costume that took 3 or 4 hours to get into, that now they would just, make it a CG thing. And how they had to shoot it such a certain way, and how they had to put it like, he goes as far as to say, the suit was actually rubber. You don't know that because they shot it so well. It looks like it's metal. Because like, if that suit were like plastic, it wouldn't have read right. So we found a rubber compound that would do it. He goes, but then we wanted, the thing that sells metal effects is that you have to have reflections, right? Reflections are what sell anything that makes it look like metal. The more reflective it is, the shinier surface, the more metal like it is. So he's like, we'd have to go around and put lights, like flashlights, strategically all around set, just so we could have the right reflection, so this thing would look real. And then he's like, and then we also had to follow these rules of, when you're shooting Robo, he calls him Robo. It's like, when we're shooting Robo, and he's crazy Scandinavian guy because he was Paul Verhoeven's like main guy from when Paul Verhoeven came over. Sorry, I'm talking to you guys.
Of course.
About it.
Paul Verhoeven, we all know well.
Yeah.
Verhoeven. So he's like, we got to shoot Robo from Robo. You guys got to shoot low, so Robo looks bigger than life. And you're like, that's just cool. It's cool listening to the way these guys.
I like stories like that.
Think about how to make these characters come to life. Yeah. And really, it's when you listen to just directors. Directors always have to talk about sort of their grand vision for it, right? But the cinematographer or the DP talks about how best to support that vision with visuals. So, to put it in games terms, I guess it would be more like, I don't know. I guess the creative director is sort of the person that helms the project, but then you've got like, I guess the lead environment artists or any of the lead artists that'll come in and kind of talk about the visual and how that affects the storytelling. It's super cool. It's really, really cool. And it's very technical. So if you don't have that vocabulary, it'll help get you there, along with reading the American Cinematographer magazine, which is amazing. Those are my podcasts.
Similar to, I'm going to give a whole bunch here.
Yes.
But Rhett and Link reminded me of Talk is Jericho, Chris Jericho's podcast. Not just about wrestling, but it's the same thing. You bring somebody on, interviews them, they talk about a whole bunch of stuff, run the gamut, as they say. I want my new favorite like obsession podcast is Death, Sex, and Money. It's by Anna Sale. This is something I caught from This American Life, because This American Life is like the epicenter of my podcast world. Off of that comes The Moth, Death, Sex, and Money, now Serial, which I'll talk about all in a second. This American Life, obviously, just a great, weekly show. They sometimes a little bit not weekly, running reruns in there as they do things, but journalism of whatever caliber about stories out in America. Topics switch off as they go. There's a theme to every episode, but every episode feels very different, which I like a lot about it, giving you different glances at what's happening here and there. Death, Sex, and Money is the new Anna Sale show. It's on the short side, which I don't like. I wish it was longer. I wish it was like This American Life. You're getting like an hour's worth of content. You know what I mean? At least usually. And then Anna Sale, this one, it's like 20, 30 minutes somewhere in there. You know what I mean? But again, it's interviews with somebody that, and then they all have to do with something, death, sex, or money, or all of them wrapped up. Or, the tagline for the show is the things we all think about but don't talk about enough, or something of that extent. You know what I mean? It's like they had Jane Fonda on there talking about her entire life and how this was all wrapped up with death, sex, and money. And then
I definitely don't think about Jane Fonda enough. That's for sure.
Well, no, death, sex, and money is things you because all three of those things.
It's fine. Jane.
It's an amazing episode. Jane Fonda is an amazing woman.
She's awesome.
Does amazing work on the newsroom.
Yes.
I won't hear anything other. But yeah, you go through stuff like that. They do one with a guy who's getting a vasectomy and talk to him about that.
As he's getting the vasectomy?
No, not at. Well, actually, yeah, he recorded it himself. Actually, it's good though. Ew. That's what you got.
Ew.
That's what you got for me.
Mm-hmm. Take a little piece out of you.
Yeah.
Just a little piece.
What's that?
Just a little piece.
No, I mean, if I'm not okay with veins, I'm definitely not okay with taking your man bits.
It's fine. It just kind of.
Don't take your man bits. Just the part of the man bit.
See,
Let's put it
that's
this way.
it. If it was the whole thing, that'd be one thing. But it's the inside parts.
It's like, have you seen Lethal Weapon 3 where they have to cut the cord? They have to cut the cord at the bomb at the beginning. It's exactly what it is, except you cut it on both sides.
Serial's the new This American Life podcast. Have you heard about this? A lot of people are talking about it. It's doing really well. It's basically like, think of like Dateline. You know how they follow a case for an hour or whatever. This is like a season dedicated to one case, with each episode being something different about it or whatever, and like they're going through doing it. It's really good so far. Everybody, I highly recommend it. It's good.
What is it called?
Serial, like serial killer.
I'm gonna look it up right now. What was the other one?
Like Booberry.
Like Booberry, yeah. Serial and his other Death, Sex, and Money.
Like Honey Bunch of
Booberry and
Oats.
Fruit Loops.
The Moth, another one that's part of the This American Life, I feel, family of shows. Even though this, like, For This American Life and Serial are directly connected. Death, Sex, and Money isn't. It's just like a cool podcast they thought was cool. They brought, I think, one of the stories on. Same thing with The Moth is how I originally they frequently featured on This American Life. The Moth is true stories told in front of a live audience. So their podcast is sometimes, usually one story from one person. Sometimes they'll put up the Moth Story Slams, which are like, giant swatches of people, but just people coming out and telling their stories about whatever. It's really good.
I like that.
Was it Money, Sex, Death? Was that the first one?
Death, Sex, and Money.
Shows where my priorities are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Colin.
So I don't listen to podcasts per se because it says a lot about how I interact with media and like how I need to focus on certain things. So like at work, for instance, I don't listen to anything when I'm working because I can't write and I can't read and I can't think when I'm listening to something. On my commutes, I listen to music. I listen to Spotify. Spotify is the best $10 a month you can possibly spend. It's amazing, and that's all I do. Like when I commute, I listen to music and I read the news. I think the closest thing I get to listening to actual podcasts is that I really enjoy Pardon the Interruption and Around the Horn on ESPN, which actually I think are in podcast form if you want them, but their shows, half-an-hour shows each about sports, like the day of sports, and it's like a debate kind of, and I listen to those as much as I can. I often DVR them, and then I go through things where I watch like one a day for, keep up with it for a few weeks, and then I just have like 10, and I just delete them all because they're useless after a day.
Yeah, because they're topical.
Exactly, like they're like that day, and some of them don't even work after a few hours, because there's things go so quickly in the world of sports. But I'm more of a reader. Like I interact with things like informational things, which I kind of look. Podcasts are entertainment. Like this one's entertainment. Podcast Beyond is entertainment. But a lot of people recommend, like Hardcore History, for instance, which is a Dan Carlin podcast. Like people like love that podcast. I get recommendations for that podcast for years. Like people like, or you have to listen to this podcast. And it's just like, that's not the way I really interact with things. I'd rather watch a documentary. I'd rather it to be visual and audio. And so, I'm watching Ken Burton's The Roosevelts and all those kinds of things.
How was
now.
that? You were ready for it.
Yeah, it's good. I actually started even watching, the cool thing about YouTube is that I don't think people like documentarians really get too crazy about copyright and stuff like that. And they like people watching their stuff. YouTube is just a wealth of documentaries. Like I just search every once in a while. I just search for documentary and I just like look and I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's a 3.5 hour documentary on the French Revolution that I watched when we were in New York. This is cool. I can feel that. It's awesome.
It's a long ass time.
The Roosevelts is like 16 hours.
Oh my God.
I think Ken Burns Baseball was like 22 hours or something like that, which was like an awesome documentary. So I think I just interact with things a little bit differently where I don't really have a time where I'm just sitting there and I want to listen to audio because I compartmentalize the things that I do. So when I'm writing, I write. When I listen to music, I listen to the music. When I'm watching sports, I watch sports. There's never a time where I'm like doing something and there's something in the background. And if there is, like when I'm working out or cooking or something, I'll just listen to music, kind of some ambient music. So I think it's just a way that I interact with media.
It's a mood thing for me. When I'm doing dishes or I'm cooking, I like a podcast. When I'm playing Minecraft, I usually have it on mute anyway, and I'm listening to a podcast. DC Universe, when I'd go around farming my exobytes and exobits podcasts.
Yeah, I love listening to podcasts while I drive. There's just something about hearing two other people talk that you don't have to respond to. Especially listening to like Smodcast. I don't know if you guys listen to Smodcast at all, but Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier I think they get super high. In fact, I know they get super high because you can hear them smoking on the show. For a long time, they even talk about how they're like, well, we were trying to hide this from everyone. But now you'll just hear like the click of the Bic lighter every once in a while. Yeah, you'll hear a little bubbling. You never hear the bubbling, but you do hear like you'll hear a cough every once in a while. And not that I'm advocating marijuana use at all, but they just are having fun, right? And they're just joking around. And they're two guys that have literally known each other almost their entire life, and they've got so many shared common things that they. Together, these shared experiences together, not the least of which was, Scott Mosier helped Kevin Smith produce Clerks and has been his producer.
He's been on
since
movie,
then,
right?
yeah. And so these guys share such a bond that they're letting you in on that. I think that's just really, really cool.
Yeah.
And hearing them laugh together. And then the more you listen to it, the more you get those inside jokes and you start to hear the inception of these amazing things that Kevin's doing where, he had quit filmmaking for a while and then because of his audience decided to get back into it. With projects like Red State or Tusk or Yoga Hosers that's coming up now, which I'm super excited for. It's just it's fun to be counted amongst people that podcast, and it's fun to be a part of that culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Have you gone through your picks?
No. So for me, the only one that I listen to religiously is my boy Tone Deaf.
Tone Deaf?
It's my boy Tone Deaf.
It's him and one of my other favorite rappers, Pac FM. Their podcast is called Tacos and Chocolate Milk. Which is one of the greatest podcast names.
I'm gonna listen to this.
It's very. a lot of in jokes, and it's just two dudes that are like really good friends talking about hip hop and also just talking about whatever. It's similar to this show in a lot of ways. And it's really entertaining. I like listening to them. And it's just like hearing their perspective on stuff when it's not being rapped is really fun. So they're the only ones that I listen to all the time. That's because I'm invested. Other podcasts that I enjoy, there's one called Chewing It with Steve and Kevin, the guys from Broken Lizard, the Super Troopers
nice.
dudes.
Oh wow,
They are hilarious.
that sounds funny.
Yeah, they're great. And they get a lot of good guests too. Like they got the Workaholics guys, and so it's just a bunch of comedians talking about shit, and it's so funny because they'll start talking about like,
They ever get Michael Rosenbaum on?
I don't know.
In your face.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If there's one person that does a spot on Christopher Walken, it's Mike Rosenbaum.
Episode 9 of the GameOverGreggy show.
Click and watch it right there. I gotta leave it.
His Walken is the upper echelon. It might be top percentile of Walkens ever done. I'd stack his up against Jay Moore.
I would stack it up against Walken.
I would, yeah. If I close my eyes, I wouldn't be able to tell you who's Walken and who's Michael Rosenbaum.
After that, it just goes into a bunch of YouTube people. You were saying the Red and Link one, Ear Biscuits, another great name for a podcast.
Oh God.
Grace Helbig just started a new one. Have you guys listened to this at all?
Mm-mm.
It's called Not So Deep with Grace Helbig. And it's really funny. It's really good. It's short. She's doing something that's different that I haven't seen yet, where it's like the audio is like 20 minutes of it, but then there's a YouTube component too that goes in the middle of it. So it's weird and interactive and shit.
Interesting.
Too much for me to keep up with and actually do, but it sounds cool.
She's got 1 billion subscribers.
And then
I'll actually follow her doing that stuff.
Oh, the Rooster Teeth podcast. That's awesome. I like that one a lot.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're these dudes that talk
Rooster
about
what?
stuff. But the Rooster Teeth podcast is it's consistently good.
And what do you like about the Rooster Teeth podcast?
I like it that I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're funny people, and they always talk about really topical things, and I like their perspective on stuff. And I like that you get a bunch of different perspectives. It's similar to this, where it's just like
You really do run a wide spectrum at this table.
yeah, exactly.
Of perspectives.
So it's good. But another one, and I think this is probably my favorite that I just to randomly listen to, is the Face Rocker podcast, which is Freddie Wong's
Oh,
thing.
interesting.
It definitely has a cinematographer slant, where it's definitely
Definitely doing a lot
very
of cool work.
hardcore into talking about like making video.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I have some investment there. But also Freddie Wong is just a wealth of knowledge of just random trivia, and Greg will attest to this.
Don't even get me started on Freddie Wong.
Yeah, go.
Freddie Wong, Freddie, amazing human being. We love him very much. Obviously, helped us out with the Patreon stuff. He's in our Patreon video. Amazing. He's a friend of ours, a personal friend of our show. But I mean, like anytime you talk to Freddie, you could just be like, man, it's just like it's crazy that this glass isn't flat and that it does this. And he would break down the physics of this glass and where it was invented and how and why this happens. And he'd have theorems and math. And
it's crazy, man. He just knows everything.
Right.
He knows way too much about everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you know that much?
Yeah. Him and
it's
Colin
always
need
fun.
a show
Oh,
where they
God,
just
that'd
talk
be
to
good.
each other. Like when I'm sure Freddie will be through here at some point. And when that happens, one of the topics we should do is just like, me, Nick, and Tim want to see what you and Colin talk about, and we leave the room and leave them
Just
alone
let
for
them
20
talk, and we
minutes.
We just watch. We just
Speaking
stare
of
through
Freddie,
the
real
window.
quick, Video Game High School Season 3 just launched yesterday. You guys should definitely check that out. And Nick, you should check this out.
Season 3?
They stepped it up.
That's my thing about like I hosted the Comic-Con panel for them. It was me and Freddie and with the other guy, not Matt, of whose name I'm blanking.
Des?
No, other guy. Campos. Why can't I?
Oh, no.
Look at your phone. Wikipedia, Video Game High School. Thanks for all your help.
I'll do it.
You didn't
keep
get me
talking.
the charger earlier.
Why didn't you say something? We're trying to do a goddamn show over here.
so sad earlier, Greg.
Anyways, I watched the show. I mean, we did the panel. They didn't need me at all, but for some reason I was brought along for the ride, which was nice. Will, does that sound right?
Yes.
Thank you.
There
It was
a
Will. Thank you. It was Freddie and Will. I watched that show, and it's amazing what season 3 looks like. Season 3 is insane.
Yeah,
looks like a movie.
40
shot
minutes
incredibly
long,
well.
an episode.
Yeah. But like,
Really?
Holy shit.
like I mean, like
Well, it's the final season, right? They're not doing this anymore.
right when you go and you need to watch it, Nick.
Okay.
Especially though, just for the end with the opera scene when she starts singing and it's that montage of everything that's happening. It's like, holy shit, is this amazing?
They did good.
Did you give up on it?
You said Will. He said yes. I didn't
Yeah,
look
it
up
is.
I
anymore.
want to
It's
double
what
check.
counts.
I want
No,
verification.
It definitely is. It
Tim's
definitely is.
a lexicon, a walking
know that
freaking
shit.
library of all these people, so he knows it.
But yeah, definitely go check it out. Tweet at F Wong, telling him what you think about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about Freddie. I've only met him a handful of times. Super nice guy. Does make you feel a little stupid because he's so smart and so insanely.
See, he never makes you feel stupid though.
I
He knows more than Will Campos.
No, Colin makes me feel stupid just because.
Sorry.
I will, not in a bad way, in a way that makes me want to go be more learned. Like, I'll talk to Colin and I'll be like, I should go home and read. Not in a degrading way. And same with Freddie. Like, I'm not saying like.
I was gonna say, what are you about to say?
No,
Freddie?
degrading me. Freddie's just a very.
Freddie just laughs in your face all the time.
Freddie's just a really inspirational guy, right? Like, he's super smart. He was able to turn, his love of effects and making online video into not only a career, but basically an insane life for himself and his friends, and the guys that he works with. And yeah, now he's doing great work, right? And being able to follow his career from like just making ridiculous lightsaber videos to now making something that you guys are saying. I mean, clearly I have to watch now. I'm interested. I'm going to go see this. I want to see the production quality. And, I remember seeing Video Game High School 1 and going, okay, this looks cool. It's like a Nickelodeon show or something I'd see, made for kids. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I got to watch that. And now I guess I got to watch season 3.
That's the most
now I got
interesting
more
about
stuff
it
to
is,
watch.
like, just watching
this
it
and
go
Franklin
and
and
it
Bash.
grows.
Yeah.
This and Franklin and Bash.
I got this and I got Franklin and Bash. Done. That and some dried fruit. Ooh. Some apricots, maybe.
I like some of your
Stuff those down my throat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Game Over Greggy Show. Remember, each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, a new episode posts each and every Friday, and there are a number of ways to get it over on kindafunny.com that include Patreon support, which we love so much, Bandcamp, and Vimeo. Of course, if you don't think we're worth the money, neither do we. You can wait, and over at youtube.com/kindafunny, the episode goes up topic by topic, broken out for your amusement, starting on Sunday. Right now, probably next week and the next week and next week, and maybe on and on and on, as long as people keep supporting us on Patreon with 5th topics. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm nailing it?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, great.
We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking it's going to go well, though.
Of course.
Something like that.
You can buy t-shirts over at districtlines.com/GameOverGreggy.
Team Fat.
Kindafunny.com/store. Is that
Yeah,
working?
you can do that too.
Just it's easier. Probably.
It's easier.
Kindafunny.com for all your needs
Team
for everything.
Fat.
There's a Team Fat shirt. It's amazing. Buy the Colin and my presidential campaign shirt.
No, buy the other one.
I've thought a
Buy the
lot about
winning
this.
shirt.
Also, I've had a couple tweets now. Should we start making a shirt for our female audience?
Yes, I send them
Okay.
to you all the time.
What do
Then
you
there
mean,
need to
like
be
a shirt-
female cuts.
An actual,
Oh, we don't do that?
No, we don't.
We just sell these garbage bag t-shirts that hide the form.
Oh, dude.
And if there's
Like
anything
the
we
ones
need to
we're
show,
wearing.
it's the form of our listeners.
Well, because I think,
Yes.
like my wife even says that. She's like, I
Christine
buy one of
says
your
it to me all
shirts
the time.
If you actually made them
Alexis.
in female cut.
All right, do it. It's done.
All right.
Pull the trigger.
All right, we have to just figure out which one we want to make. We'll have to start with one just to see how it does. Like,
Team
you know
Fat.
me, I'm very risk averse to these.
Yeah, so like that's the
t-shirts.
thing with our shirts is that we, for you guys, because we use a third party vendor, we buy them ahead of time. So that is a good idea. We should test like Team Fat or
I think
something like that.
we
How about
should
this?
go with the most popular shirt we have, which is the Scarpino
That
Gettys
is not true. That is
2016.
not the most popular shirt. That is
like
not
that.
the
Feel
most
the
popular
love.
shirt.
The party just got started. Keep it going with us, everyone. Cheetos.
Where's he at?
Is he here? I don't know.
He's
Can you? Is he
he's
ever
probably
here?
he's making big decisions somewhere.
He's on
He's
air.
in the FaceTime with the Israelis.
He's in Iran negotiating the terms of the nuclear arms treaty.
Perfect.
Ladies who watch this show, let us know which shirt you'd like in the comments.
Yeah,
should we
that's
send
good.
everybody to
That's
Patreon or
good.
should we do it on YouTube?
Hit us up on Twitter because we'll be notified.
No. Who's gonna go back and check that? Who
Yeah, we need a place to collect them.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna
Here's
go
the
and
thing. I don't want to
select.
see this as an actual voting system. What is this? Your guys is winning? No. There's not going to be votes if we win. I just want to see we'll get a general consensus.
Of the women's shirt, which shirt the women's want.
Yep.
It's. I mean, again, it's clear. It's gonna be the Scarpino.
Okay, go to the YouTube video, the breakout, and put it up there. How about that?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
that
And,
works.
And you
and
can
also
also
on
tweet at us.
Patreon.
And
Do
upvote-
not tweet at me about this.
Upvote the ones that you like, so it keeps it a little simpler if someone already posted
Sure.
one of those
They can't
shirts.
tweet at Kind of Funny Games. Kind of
No,
Funny Vids?
because
Excuse
that
me.
doesn't exist. You have to go to Kind of Funny Vids.
Kind of
yeah.
Funny Vids. Excuse me.
Yeah. At Kind of Funny Vids, but it's a nightmare and a half. We'll see how this one develops. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure serving you.